All
right, we're live on video. At least I hope we're live on video. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hola.
Oh, como está?
Hi.
Okay, so let's hear it again.
Okay, so there was two really weird things on the staff channel. What is that? What we call it?
Paper is valuable. I want you to use every inch of that paper.
Drop of
yes.
it.
Go ahead. on the what, Mike?
On the staff.
On our message board?
On our message board.
I was about to say, what did I do now?
Not staff.
Yeah, there's a difference of staff and staff.
Yeah,
not a whole lot, but
not a lot. Both you can't get rid of. Or both you need penicillin to be around. How about that?
Yeah, but it's such a hard strain. Penicillin doesn't. Go ahead.
Well, one was something about it had an empty notebook and it said, "This is what you're entitled to," but then it had the "Just for Fun" sticker.
No, that was on the fun page. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Denise chimed in about the same time I did. She goes, "So you're just entitled to Just for Fun?"
No, I said the world is entitled to.
I know, but it was a blank notebook except for the Just for Fun, so it kind of looked like that's what we were entitled to. Is he was listing. Okay, so it wasn't that funny.
But you do know that I have to always make sure that I'm putting our logo on something.
Everything
that we can. Now that we have 2,500 stickers.
That's going on everything times 2.
We can tag everything.
I forgot to give Karin her sticker yesterday.
Yes,
you didn't.
Hey. I got some in my van.
I got some in my van, and I ate lunch with her. I just forgot to give it to her.
I got them in my tackle box.
All right, and we're gonna be taking a commercial break here in just a few seconds. I know everybody's completely. Oh, I'm not talking. I know everybody's saying to themselves, "Commercial already," but what we've been getting ready for is we have Oz coming in this morning with the heavy hitting, tough questions.
Yeah.
Mr. Oz Nesbit, he is our county commissioner for Rockdale County, who is running for chairman. So, here we go. We've had tons since we've been advertising it. We've had tons and tons of messages through the fun page in emails, and there's been multiple text messages about what can I ask? And we're saying, he said point blank that this is the one time that he's coming on the show, and this is not him coming. You notice it's not Town Topic Tuesday. So he didn't come in on Tuesday because we weren't doing it as a promotion of the positive, blah, 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 blah. And, we try to keep the governmental, local politics kind of stuff down when he's here. But today it's all about that. So everybody hang tight. Oz, I see his shadow as he's walking by right now. Give us just a few seconds. We'll be right back.
See you.
Ooh, somebody's with them too.
You'll have to go get the door.
Yeah,
and remember, mics are on. Mics are on.
I twisted my ankle. It would take me 5 minutes.
Oh, it was? Oh, it is. I see his hat, fool. With the sun, the way the sun comes up, I'm like, I think that was him. Just went by the door. She says, "Yeah, I think somebody's with him."
It's Groundhog Day.
Huh?
God, what's happening, my brother? What's going on, brother?
Morning.
Ace bandage?
No. It's like
Oh, yeah. Why'd you do that?
And if we get hot, people let me know.
We had our wood burning stove going last night. It was like 72 in the house. It was wonderful. And I got it going all by myself.
Turn my mic.
Towards the wall?
Yeah, turn towards the screen. I don't want to pick it. The screen.
Jesus. There's
the other screen.
No screen.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing?
Good. How are you? Okay, so not a pencil box, a tackle box.
Man,
Yeah,
I love
it's a little tackle box. Yeah.
You have a sticker on the top of it. No, it's cold.
You in the big boy chair today. Put you over there. You got. Brother, how you been, man? No, I know. We talk a lot online. Mike both, man. Mike is
Like mine?
yeah.
Remember the microphones are on.
They're hot.
And not only do we have YouTube now, we also have what's called Facebook Live.
Are we gonna have to redo it every 30 minutes?
Every 30 minutes. Though. Dude, I saw one that said it'd been running 72 hours.
You have to pay premium?
And the guy had already turned the camera off. So for like the last 14 hours, or excuse me, he filmed like, I don't know, 10 hours. But at about 14 hours is when you see the cameras completely turned off. Like he only filmed for X number of minutes. And then you see the camera is like in a pause mode where there was no movement, but you could still see the screen. And then at like the 14-hour mark, it just goes to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But it still showed that they were live.
Funny.
I got one on my van.
Disney.
So we were talking about the sticker. Raven says, I've got one in my van. So I got one in my van, talking about stickers. And I need some more so when I'm riding around passing candy. So I got these stickers, which I need to send you the link right now. And these are normally $1 a sticker. So I was able to order 500 for $129, $124. And then I said, man, I'm going to order some more. So 1,000, after you order your first, they give you a product code for 5% more off. So I just ordered 2 more 1,000. It was $129 1,000. Those are Mike's. He said he was going to let you keep them today. Not keep them, but use them.
No, you can keep them.
Mike usually wears. I said, are you going to swap headphones? He says, no, I just can wear them.
I'm like a Boy Scout.
Yes, that's what we was good for. And that's what I was just telling people as you were walking around that you didn't want to come in on Town Topic Tuesday. No, I hadn't. I've been busy. Good. That's right. What's the word? Let her rip, tater chip.
I have one request.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You rip them and rip them to
These are. All right, everybody, we're fixing to go. I figured this is how we do it. It would be a good one to start with.
volume is kind of
On your on the ears?
yeah.
Okay, we can go turn that up. I just wanted to make sure because with us, you never know.
I'm naturally loud, so my hearing.
How about that?
No.
Is that good right there?
Oh yeah, that's good.
Okay. You'll have to really get close to the mic. You notice we're digital now, so I have a little more control, so we don't have background noise.
Wow, y'all
stepping it up, brother. Hey, it's 2016. It's time to step it up.
Y'all some high tech motor scooters.
Yeah, nowadays.
Be some high tech rednecks.
No, you were the only one that wears that badge proudly.
And after you tell her to get a pencil box to keep all our stuff in, she goes and get a tackle box.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah.
It's a tackle box, pencil box.
A tackle.
No.
Where's the picture?
It's in the van. I'll show.
Okay.
I'll just flat out show it to you.
Shh, we're going live. I know you got to be redneck. Go ahead and put a Bass Pro sticker on it.
No.
All right, going back live. Here we go.
No giggling.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. We got Mr. Oz Nesbit, the man, the myth, the legend. Feel like I'm introducing a WWF
I was about
wrestler.
to say. Why can't it be
Now, if he leaned into the mic and go, let me tell you, brother, then I would just die laughing, right?
It's a day after Town Topic Tuesday.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. It's a wacky, wonderful Wednesday, and it's good to be back here at Just for Fun Radio. And I understand that you guys are kind of ushering me in a different kind of way this morning. I'm in the hot seat.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, let me just tell you this, folks. I've been in the hot seat most of my life. I've spent about 30 years in the hot seat altogether. The last 8 years as your county commissioner here in Rockdale County. Guess where I've been? In the hot seat, baby. So I guess you're going to be turning up the heat on me a little bit today. And I've said to my folks, today it's a tell-all. So listen in. Right. Let it rip, let it roll. Here we go.
And the good thing is as soon as we started saying, of course, I worded it this way this morning, but we said Oz wants to come in and he wants to do a full-blown, legit, 100% questions, Q&A, et cetera, et cetera. And, the good thing is when we started posting it yesterday, we started getting emails to the Just for Fun page, or you should call it messaging on Facebook Messenger. But the good thing is you have a lot of people that are citizens saying, okay, well, let's ask this. So only a select few questions have kind of been put on back burner because we don't want to we just don't want to antagonize anything. So I do want everybody to understand we do want to keep this clean. We don't want to be nasty to anybody. But if you are a citizen of this county, you have a right to ask the man who is running to be your chairman, your leader of the town, of the county rather. You have a right to ask these questions. And with Oz being the first to say, let's do this. I mean, he calls me, says, let's do this. Now that throws the ante up for anybody else. I've got the door open for anybody who wants to come in here. If you're running for office and you would like to come and share your thoughts on why you believe that you should be the man or woman, let me word it that way. I use the word man figuratively. If you want to be the person in charge, you come and explain what makes you think your idea is better than the next person's. So, excuse me, golly, that was embarrassing. As we're trying to actually be a little more professional this morning. We figured instead of it being Town Topic Tuesday, like he typically comes in, and we try to keep it not real political, that we were going to do a Wednesday. What did you say we were going to call this?
I call it a wonderful, wacky Wednesday.
That's
it's Hump Day Wednesday all over America, baby. So it's going to be wonderfully wacky today.
There we go.
It's a wonderful day because it's cold and beautiful outside.
Yes.
And it's going to be wacky because some of the questions that's going to come my way are going to be a little bit off the cuff. And you know what? I think people need it raw and uncensored. I think they need the butt naked truth. And that's what I stopped by to do this day. So it's going to be a wonderful, wacky Wednesday. Let it roll, baby. Yes.
And we are all for that. I'm sorry. I'd gotten a message from Facebook now has this setup where if you're not friends with the person, it sends you a request.
Yeah.
Well, my problem is I touched something and it disappeared. So now I don't know who it was that was sending me the request.
No.
And the bad thing, this was about a wedding. And they were like, a friend of mine told me to call you about a wedding. And I'm like, oh my God, I just lost that message. So
you got from the Jacob in Tulsa, the guru. Good morning, Oz.
Good morning. Good morning, Jacob. How are you doing? Appreciate you tuning in this morning. Hope you got some good, juicy questions for your favorite commissioner, Commissioner Oz Nesbit.
Yes, sir.
Oz, I'd contacted
your next chairman of Rockdale County.
I'd contacted Pastor Henderson. She's running for House of Rep in District 113. She was going to try to call in. She's in a meeting. She apologizes, but she says good morning as well.
All right. Well, Pastor, good morning. And I hope you're starting this beautiful, wonderful Wednesday off with a little word of prayer. So pray for Oz.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that bad.
You're going to be praying before and after the show.
Now, I saw a picture. and
during.
Of course, this is totally off topic, but I saw a picture last week where you were, I believe, at the premiere of Preachers of Atlanta. Preachers of LA is probably one of my favorite shows.
Well, then, because Pastor and Sergeant Corey Hambrick is one of the residents here in Rockdale County, a fine fellow who is starring in Preachers of Atlanta, the pastor of the Life Christian Church here, you ought to get him on the show to tell you about their radical movement to save souls and win people over for Christ, and why Preachers of Atlanta is doing such an extreme radical kind of things to get people into the ark and safety of Christ than what us traditional people are used to. But in the show, I must say, of all the Preachers of Atlanta, Pastor Corey still is the most mainstream of them all. The thing that makes it most unique is, hey, he is a police officer in his regular job, and he's also a pastor and a preacher.
Isn't that something?
So, you know, it's a beautiful combination, and he has to even defend himself in last week's episode of how he's able to save souls as well as place people under arrest.
Yeah, a Reverend Doug, I don't want to go any further than that, did a big interview saying that there shouldn't be a preacher toting a gun, and then he talks about one of the Sweeneys that we're friends with. We're gonna reach out to him as well, and then he's defending, you know, what he's doing about basically this one reverend is saying that all the preachers of Georgia or all the preachers of Atlanta are Satan and doing Satan's work. So that's something for everybody to go research and just look into. But I didn't get into the Preachers of Chicago, or I think it was Detroit. But the Preachers of LA was just an awesome show. I really like watching it. And I didn't mean to really go off topic. I just remember we were watching that last night, and I remember you were at the preview, and the pilot shows tonight at 6 p.m. and then the actual episode number 2 is like 8 or 9 tonight. So anybody that would like to see it, go see it. It's put. I forget the channel, as bad as that is.
Is it I think it's Bravo.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but all you gotta do is go to your menu and type in Oxygen. That's what it was. Oxygen. Just type in Preachers of, and it starts telling you what it is. But there's such an amazing show.
And
everybody should watch it.
You can Google it as well.
Yeah.
And get all the information right.
That's right.
If you pull it up on Google, they'll show it all to you. But it's on the Oxygen Network.
All right. Well, let's begin this then. And without us just nailing in the questions, explain to everybody who you are, how long you've been doing this, and what your plan is as far as why you believe that you should be the next chairman.
I'm Oz Nesbit. I've been doing this for about 30 years, to tell you the truth. I've been assigned to the Conyers area for the last 16 years. 8 of those 16, I've been serving as your county commissioner. I do this because I'm passionate about serving the people in my community. I am truly persistent about progress. That is my slogan, but that's also part of my motto. My life motto is, I didn't get the slogan from a book. No one gave it to me. It came out of my heart and out of my head. I am passionate about people and persistent about progress. I believe in giving back. I believe in helping people. And the reason why, because I come from a time, a place, and a people who helped me, who helped my family. I came from a community of givers. I came from a servicehood mentality. Okay. So it's in my bones, it's in my blood, it's in my DNA to help my fellow man. I'm not caught up in whether you're black, white, Republican, Democrat, straight, or gay. I'm Oz. I'm not God. So my passion is to help my fellow person. Here in Rockdale County, we have 3 commissioners. I serve as one of the 3 commissioners. I've been serving for the past 8 years. My first time in office was back in 2009. I got reelected in 2012. And this time around, my 3rd election, my 3rd campaign, I've decided to run for the office of chairman. I've served, I believe, the people of Rockdale County very well for the past 8 years as their post-1 commissioner. My heart, my soul has been committed to serving the people of Rockdale County, and I believe that I can serve you all at a better or a greater capacity or a greater level if I'm in the chairman's office or when I'm in the chairman's office. The chairman of the county serves as the chief ambassador for the community. This person is the day-to-day manager. Let me explain it to you so you'll have a clear understanding. Right now, if you call and you need some direction about what's going on in the county, you should call the county office, and you will probably talk to one of the staff members or perhaps the chief of staff. But ultimately, the person who's responsible for the day-to-day operation of Rockdale County is the chairman of the government, which is the chairman of the Board of Commissioners. Now, that person does not serve as my boss. This person serves as the person who has been elected by the people to go to the office and report to the office each day, and serves as the 24-hour day-to-day person. Example, you got a pothole in front of your house on the street that you travel. Well, you want to make a report. You talk to some of the staff people, perhaps even to the chief of staff. That's fine, good, all well and dandy. But you may want to talk with your elected official who you have elected to make certain on your behalf that that issue gets resolved. Well, that person in the office is the chairman of the county. That's the role that I'm seeking, because I believe that it's important that Rockdale County becomes a community of being responsive and not so reactive. I believe in being tangible, touchable, hands-on. For the last 8 years, I've been accessible in this community. In fact, I don't do a lot of boasting and bragging, but I think this is one of the things I do boast about. Being able to reach me, being able to dial my cell phone, find me on Facebook,
send a text,
LinkedIn,
anything.
send a text, Twitter. People call all the time and they dial my number, Denise, and they say, I'd like to speak to Commissioner Oz Nesbit. I say, this is he. And they say, what? Really? This is you? I thought I was going to go through. No. I actually have made it my business, Stephanie, to be accessible, reachable, touchable in the community. So I've been to your churches. I've been to your child's school. I've been to your 60th birthday parties, your wedding anniversaries. I've been to your church picnic or cookout. I've been out there with you in the streets, in the trenches, so you can put your hands on me and touch me in terms of being able to help you deal with what's going on. That's it in a nutshell. That's kind of a backdrop of who I am and what I've been doing. The seeking part and where I'm planning to go at this point is I've decided, Michael, Stephanie, I've decided, Denise, that it is all or nothing. I'm either going to become your next chairman of Rockdale County to move this county forward, or I'm leaving the office of politics at this time in my life and moving on to other things. People often ask me, why would you risk the chance of giving up your post one seat to run for chairman? And if you don't win the chairman's office, then guess what? You're out altogether. Well, the seat doesn't belong to me. The seat, the office, belongs to the people of Rockdale County. I am so passionate and so dedicated about my determination to move this county forward that I'm willing to sacrifice giving up this seat to move on to another level to do what I need to do.
Yeah, because I asked you, in my question to Oz when I was asking more information several months back, I'm like, so as a citizen, am I willing to take the gamble of losing you as a commissioner altogether to watch you try to become the chairman? I was thinking, because I was worried for you. I was like, man, this is going to suck, because in my mind, when my speeding problem happened and Fox 5 was on the way, I called Oz and said, hey, you want to be on TV? Because I know you've seen the speeding, and I know they will take me a little more serious if they see my commissioner say, I've been here, I've seen it. So when you are at hand's reach and you are somebody that I can reach out to and text and call, I'm scared that if something happened, I wouldn't have that anymore. Well, and would the next person be so reachable, and so personable? I'm sorry.
Well, let me say this, and let me preface it this way before we move any further on the show this morning. I'm just honored to be back here in the studio on Just for Fun Radio. And guess what? It is just for fun. But this morning, it is really serious. So to your point, Scotty, here's what I want the listeners and the voters of Rockdale County to be thinking. This is the way I need you to think. If your county and your community is just that important, and you see the risk of me running for the office of chairman and giving up this particular seat that I'm in, then I'm asking you, I'm encouraging you to take it just as serious as I'm taking it.
Right.
make sure you vote for me to go to that next level. Because if you want to be able to have the level of responsiveness, if you want to be able to have someone who is accessible, tangible, touchable, if you want a commissioner who's there, who will roll up his or her sleeves with you, then you want to make certain that you get to the polls on May 24th and you vote for Oz Nesbit to become your next chairman. I feel like I've done my job. I've done my due diligence as your county commissioner in Post 1, and it's now an opportunity, not for Oz Nesbit, I'm going to be fine, but it's an opportunity for the people of Rockdale County to take this level of leadership, embrace it, hang on to it, and make sure that I stay there on the front lines for the people in this community. So we can debate, we can go into a contest all day and night, but if you really want a real champion, a real advocate for the people of this community, a real voice for the folks of Rockdale County, then you're not going to allow this opportunity to pass you by, and you're going to get to the polls on the 24th of May, and you're going to make sure you keep Oz Nesbit working hard for Rockdale.
That's right. All right, I want to catch this real quick, and then I'm going to turn it over to my co-host to start their questions that have been emailed to us.
All right.
Mike Myers, tired of seeing him.
You see him everywhere, though.
He says he's everywhere.
He is everywhere.
Then I get, tell my cousin Stephanie I said hello, and Military Mike. And Mike Myers does not know you, Denise, but I'm sure he's wanting to say hello to you too. But
Hi,
he hasn't
Mike.
met you yet.
Hey, cuz.
I tell you what, if
And listen, you on top of somebody married down. His wife married down.
oh, she did,
Just like my wife married down.
Yeah.
We could put Mike's wife and my wife in a convertible going down the road, and we would have to follow them in a tank to shoot every guy that would
Yes.
try to hit on our wives. Because if we were in the back seat, the guys would pull up at a red light and go, y'all with them?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to do.
And I got to tell you, Mike is, I don't know. Is he got a presidential run going? You think maybe 4-8 years?
You want to talk about somebody everywhere? He's
And that
there
man
too.
is
Well,
everywhere.
let me say this about Mike Myers, my dear friend, my good friend. He is one to watch.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
He's one to watch. That's what I'll say.
Not many people that I'll say I'm proud to be friends with, especially nobody here.
One of my friends just
Denise looking at me.
just sent a message about how he is moving to Rockdale just to be able to know that stuff like this is going to be handling.
Right.
And then I just got somebody say Scott needs to be the champion / mayor of speed bumps, which I agree. And I actually was making the joke yesterday that I'm going to rename this road to Oz Nesbit Avenue and just say like, look, this man's going to be in control of my road between two schools and getting me some speed bumps or some signs or something. But the sign department, the bus people said they're going to get with the sign department. So hopefully that'll be taken care of.
Yeah, I just talked about speeding through our communities, particularly through our school zones. I talked about that yesterday in the board meeting, and I know I kind of shocked some people as I'm always keeping it real and being myself. I says, people going through the school zones like a bat out of
Yeah.
hell. And when I said that, it's like, oh my God, the commissioner said hell. Yes, I said it because that's the way they
It's
were
the
driving,
real world.
like a
Yeah.
bat out of hell.
That's right.
Because when they almost hit your child or my child or a child that you care about,
My
you
dog.
guess what you're going to do? You're going to cuss a little bit more than what I said.
Well,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
the number one safety? The number one safety question from any parent will always be their children.
Absolutely.
Always. It doesn't matter what you say about going to the grocery store. Number one is always going to be the children,
Can you see that old lady pointing and says, slow down?
That's right.
The old
That's
man,
exactly
too.
Right.
I feel like an old man. I'm going to get out there one day with
Look
a
like
walker.
one too.
With a few adjectives and adverbs and
That's
mixed
right.
in between, though.
All right, Denise, if you would like to, we're now at 8:20. I don't want to wait too long, and let's get some questions rolling.
Okie doke. You touched base about how people can call up to the office and talk straight to you.
Call my cell phone.
And your cell phone.
My cell phone. Mhm.
As the commissioner, your office is flooded with citizens calling about codes and violations in their particular neighborhoods. Nothing is being done to correct the complaints. Do you consider making code enforcement part of the sheriff's department? And how many officers will you have working the department?
No, first of all, I think one of the biggest problems in our community in terms of being responsive versus being reactive is what you're talking about, Denise, communication. When people don't get a call back, when they don't get an email back, when they don't get a text message back or some form of correspondence to let us know that they hear us, they see us, they acknowledge us. It's like when you call to pay a bill and you put on hold. At least they'll come back and say your call is being answered in the order that it received. They're letting you know that we know you're still there. Here's what I would do. Number one, I'm not interested in putting code enforcement underneath the sheriff's office. I think that code enforcement can be effectively managed under the Board of Commissioners office with the right leadership, not just the leadership in the chairman's office, but the leadership out in the code enforcement division that would make sure that we're doing all that we need to do as code enforcement officers to make sure that the job is done and that we're being responsive to the people and the citizens of Rockdale County. I think we're at a point where we probably do need to look at adding an additional person or two over in the code enforcement division. But before I'm willing to put more logs on the fire and add more people, I want to do a complete audit and assessment of the current process and practice to make sure that we're first following our own processes and practices. What am I talking about? I want to make sure that we're practicing what we preach, and that when we hold people accountable, I said last night over at the Gardens of Fieldstone in a homeowners association meeting that when the officer comes out and gives you a verbal warning, 2 weeks later, they give you a written warning. The third time they come out, now they're writing you a citation. Well, if you have not complied with whatever the situation is on that third visit by that code enforcement officer, the third time, first time he gives you a verbal warning. Second time, a written warning. Now you got two warnings. Verbal one, that was really nice. He came out and he did another warning, but this time he wrote it down. He documented it, gave you a written warning. Well, the third visit, he's giving you a citation because now you still haven't complied. Well, when that person is given a citation, they also a summons to come to court. The county attorney who serves as the prosecutor inside the magistrate court, that person, along with the code enforcement officer, will work together in concert to make a decision as to whether that case goes before the magistrate judge. If the prosecutor and the officer, the citing officer, decides not to have that case go before the judge will never have the opportunity to enforce the law if the case don't get to her. Well, here's what I'm saying. It's time out for pacifiers. It's time out for being nice. I'm saying that if I've got an officer who's come to your business or your resident now for the third time, he or she is now writing a citation, I need you to get your butt into the courtroom. I need the prosecutor to get your case in front of the judge, and I need for the judge to make a decision and enforce the law. We're at a point in Rockdale County that we have to make examples out of people, and we've got to send a strong message. And keep in mind, there are a lot of people in Rockdale County who are business owners and homeowners and landlords who are some affluent, big name people in our community that has not been revealed and uncovered because we don't want to go there. Well, it's time to go there. Yeah. It's time to go there. Because if you're going to pick on Miss Sally Johnson or Miss Lula Mae Brown, then you're going to have to deal with the big boys as well with all the big money, and they own some of these properties.
Slumlord.
Absolutely.
You didn't say it, I did. That's my opinion.
So that's where I stand on this code enforcement issue. Rockdale County is getting dirtier and dirtier, and if we don't put a grip on it today, it's going to get so out of control that we're not going to be able to get it into control, and we're going to look like some of these communities that you all see lining up the I-20 corridor that I don't have to call by name.
That's right.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
He's been drinking the Kool-Aid, man. He sounds like me.
Let me tell you, I have a strong stance and position on code enforcement, but it's not just with the Board of Commissioners office. It's not even just with code enforcement. in Rockdale County, you've heard me say this a gazillion times, there's well over 300 churches.
Mm-hmm.
So between our churches, our schools, and our nonprofit organizations in this community, I believe that we can launch a clean up Rockdale County campaign that will clean up our communities and get people to take personal ownership of their own backyards, front yards, and subdivisions. For me to have to come to your house and clean up your house because it's junky, you ought to be embarrassed.
Yes. Yes.
But I want to inspire you in such a way and encourage you in such a way that you clean up your own house. And you shouldn't just be cleaning the house when ours happen to stop by. Right. It should be clean anyway. Anyway,
all right.
So that's my position
you got,
there.
Steph?
What
Just to keep us moving along.
Okay.
I hope I answered your question.
Yeah.
What incentives would you offer businesses to come to Rockdale County?
Well, I think number one is we have a few incentives that's already out on the table. What's being a short distance from here to Atlanta and from here to the airport and going eastbound from here to the next major city in the state of Georgia, which is Augusta, my hometown. But in terms of incentives to actually set up shop, and I think that's what your question is all about, I think there's an opportunity for us to look into the assets of Rockdale County, whether it be communicating with our tax commissioner in terms of some type of tax abatement, or perhaps a discount or break on water startup for companies and industries that are coming into our community. Now, let me say this. I'm going to always weigh that based upon the formula that's in front of me. What is that formula? How many jobs are you going to create? How many people are you going to hire? What will be the benefit of your company moving to Rockdale County will determine the magnitude, or should I say the size, of what type of incentive I'm willing to offer you. Just because you're moving to Rockdale County, I'm not just going to give you the county. I'm not going to do that. But if you're going to put 500, 200, 500, 1,000 people to work in Rockdale County, and you're going to help get our residents back to work, and you're going to be a long vested member of this community, you best your bottom dollar. I'm going to search high and low to look for opportunities that we can serve, that can serve as an incentive to not only lure you in, but keep you here.
I hear you.
All right, hey, I'm gonna kind of change tones a little bit on this one, because I know we've been talking about business and you know, making it prettier and all that other stuff, but you know, for me, it's a security thing, and that's what a lot of my when I had asked people, my followers on Facebook and whatnot, and I said, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's ask them some good questions. And I tell you, one of the ones that sent me really rings loud. And I also, right now, during your little brief stay here, I got another question that has to do with it. I'm going to go ahead and read this. And it was sent to me. It said, please give us an honest rating of your current perception of law enforcement in the county. Now, there's a couple other questions, Oz, if you would. Let me just kind of combine them. When he's talking,
would you like for me to hit that one first?
Well, no, because it's if I give you the basically the three questions, I'm sure you'll be able to lump it together. Another question that I received asked about is the sheriff's department undermanned? Is our human resources for our county undermanned? And then another one that just came over was, if you would please describe, excuse me, please describe what would be your authority over, I realize code enforcement, but here's a good question, is what is your authority over the sheriff's office? So basically the three questions once again would be, give us your honest rating of the current perception of law enforcement in our county. Please include the human resources and manning levels, and what authority would you have with the sheriff's office?
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, it's basically a law enforcement, people, Oz, you and I have talked numerous times. I see things, I've had things, I've been involved in things, and you and I have the ability to talk offline on stuff. And I think pretty much the last couple of times have been law enforcement related. So this kind of goes along with that. Sir, you have the floor.
Well, thank you for letting me have the mic again. Honestly, let me just be honest with everybody here. When you give me a law enforcement or criminal justice question, that is the heart of where I started my adult work career. I joined the sheriff's office in Augusta with the Richmond County Sheriff's Department when I was 18 years old.
Wow.
I spent 15 years there. Okay. So I know law enforcement. It's been some time since I've been in it, but I know law enforcement, and I'm very well connected with the law enforcement community. So here's my question. Number one, on a scale of 1 to 10, if I was rating the Rockdale County Sheriff's Department, 1 being very bad or poor, 10 being excellent and outstanding, I'm going to be honest with you. I'll give the Rockdale County Sheriff's Department a 10. And let me tell you why. Because we have some of the most passionate and the most dedicated people, men and women, who are on the front lines of this community day and night while we're asleep, out there working for a little bit of money, working hard. And they don't do it for the money. They do it because they enjoy the career that they've chosen. That's their career path, but they enjoy serving the people in Rockdale County. And people have stayed and remained parts of the ranks of the Rockdale County Sheriff's Department because they enjoy what they do and they're passionate about it. So we have people who are dedicated to serving this community. I give it a 10. I give them an A1 rating because those are the men and women who are out there, and I know I've come in contact with them in several different kind of ways, and I know they are above board and a professional, unique group of men and women who serve our community. So I give them a 10.
So by giving them a 10, though, is there any room for improvement?
Of course, there's always room for improvement.
Also, let's keep in mind not to go too far with a lot of the long questions and answers, because we do have a lot, and we really only have you like another 30 minutes, right? You're leaving at 9.
No, I'm going to be here till we rock it down, baby.
Okay, well, that saves us too. Sorry. I don't mean to mess up anybody.
I apologize for not telling you guys that, because originally I was limited, but I've moved some things around.
Okay, well, thank you for that, because I was seriously texting people
saying. I did a little shuffleboard this morning to get some things in order so I can be with the people I love.
Right. So go back to your answer. I didn't mean to mess you up, but
let me go back and say this. There's always room for improvement in any organization. There's room for improvement in the dynamics of a family. There's room for improvement in the function and operation of a church, of a radio station, of a county, of a company. There's always room for improvement. And I think that the Rockdale County Sheriff's Department will continue to participate in continuous improvement activities by sending their deputies to training and classes to get them more polished and more professional as we continue to transition in our community from one level of understanding of how to interact with people to a different level. But so I give them a 10 or A1 rating. I think they are excellent, top-notch people. Do I think there's room for improvement? Of course. And absolutely, there's always room for improvement. Let me say this. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be a bad apple or a bad experience, because you have to first remember, although they are sworn to uphold the law, with or without the badge, you are still dealing with a person, an individual. The sheriff himself cannot ride in every vehicle and babysit and hold the hand of each and every one of his deputies. So there's going to be, from time to time, a deputy who misrepresents the sheriff's office. And that's why the sheriff has implemented what is called OPS. OPS, write this down, the Office of Professional Standards.
Oh, good. I need to contact them.
Now,
that's just a great idea.
I'm an old school police officer, so the world I come from, we simply called it internal affairs.
Yeah.
It's the office that police the police. The sheriff, and I know some recent stuff that he's done, he's taken a hard stand, and he has stood by his standard of excellence by policing within his own ranks. And I don't know whether you've had an opportunity to meet the new chief deputy, Chief Moses Little.
No, I'm very interested in meeting him.
But let me say this. He don't play.
That's good.
And guess what? He don't play when it comes to the police or the public. This guy,
that excites me, because that's what I thought we needed.
This guy gets it done. Once he does a thorough investigation and it is determined that one of his deputies has broken the code of conduct or outside the standard of excellence within the guidelines of the Office of Professional Standards, they've got a price to pay.
Well, I need to show him the video where the officer falsified information about me and then went to Mike's. Mike had a dispute with somebody that threatened to kill him, and the cop told Mike to shut up. I mean, this same cop
And
that
listen,
I have on video.
Listen,
we need to deal with that. Thank you for bringing that up.
He would be glad to hear that. Let me
Awesome.
finish. Let me finish with my questions here.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Answer it. Okay.
I think Manning.
Yeah, I got him. I got him. Baby.
Okay.
Just stay with me.
Good.
Okay. Do I think the sheriff's office need more manpower? My answer is yes. I think we need more people. Now, I'm not the sheriff, so I don't run the sheriff's office in terms of Rockdale County. I am not the sheriff. But based upon what I do know in my experience and from my vantage point as a commissioner and very involved in the community, yes, I think there needs to be some additional officers to make sure we have enough men and women to combat the crime that we do have here in Rockdale County. From an HR, human resources standpoint, there needs to be an extreme makeover. I want everybody to hear me say this. There needs to be an extreme makeover when it comes to the hiring practices, not just for the sheriff's office, but for Rockdale County government.
That's a big one.
Yes, it's huge. And you better believe that if I'm placing this much emphasis on that, you can expect an extreme makeover. Somebody's calling somebody's texting somebody right now.
It's blowing.
Oh my God, he's talking about an extreme makeover in the Department of Human Resources.
Yeah, all these phones are lighting up.
So let me slow down and say this one more time.
Hold on, wait. Reality check calling.
Yeah, it's freaking everything just lit up. Bing, 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 bing. So
in the Office of Human Resources in our HR department in Rockdale County government, Rockdale County Board of Commissioners, there must be an extreme makeover from the rooter to the tutor.
That's right. All right, well, let's move on to the next one. I want to sling this in real quick before we turn it over to Denise. Anybody need to take a restroom break?
Let me answer this last one.
Okay.
My authority as it relates to the sheriff's department.
Yes.
0.
Okay.
The sheriff is the sheriff. The chairman is not in charge of the sheriff. The commissioner is not in charge of the sheriff.
Okay.
Here's our role. We give the sheriff his funding, his money. We give, if we're giving the sheriff $65 million, we hand him the $65 million. And folks, that's an example. If I give the sheriff $2, once I give him the money, I'm to get out of the way and let him do his job and run his department. I don't pick up the phone and tell him who to hire, what to do, what corner to direct traffic on, what bad guys to go. That is not my job. That is the job of the sheriff and elected official. Now, I will say this, because it's important that the chairman and the Board of Commissioners are in a good, wholesome relationship with the executive operation of the sheriff's office. I would like to hope and believe that I've got influence with the sheriff, that if I call the sheriff about something that is relative to this community, that the sheriff is going to take my call and take my conversation serious, and he's going to follow up and follow through and act on it. But am I going to call him and say, you need to get a deputy out here? That is not my place. The sheriff is an elected official, elected by the citizens of Rockdale County, just like I am. My job is to provide him with the funding to operate his department.
All right, and with you being saying to that, I know we need to lead to another question and maybe take a break for a restroom break or anything. I have a question here about the pay. That's the county commission's problem with the pay. But I know from a past conversation with Oz that an increase of pay has come up before, and it was voted down. And it was not voted down by Oz, because in order to put more cops on the street, we needed to get more vehicles. And if I'm correct with my information from what I remember reading, is our chairman voted that down. That our chairman voted down providing us, the citizens, more funding for our sheriff's department to put more cars on the road, to put more butts in seats. That is our chairman's position. He decided not to do that. And I'm not playing favors to Oz or whatever. I'm speaking reality. Is the only way to get more cops on the road is to be able to hire more cops and have more cars. And it's up to the commissioner's office to decide if the funding's going to be there. And apparently my safety was not recognized.
When and if you have the opportunity to get the current chairman in here in the hot seat, I want you to ask him, why did you only allocate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 measly patrol cars for the sheriff for this new year to take care of this year? I want you to allow him to answer that question.
So this just in, even though I know the answer, people are asking the answer. So will Oz fund it? Would you vote that in?
That's not only my question.
Okay, but people ask it, want to hear it.
Not only will Oz fund it, Oz has supported to fund it each and every year. If you look at my track record, you will see that my number one concern over the last 8 years I've served has been public safety first. Number one. Not only that, I have championed as a matter of fact, flagged down a deputy and asked one of the deputies which commissioner advocates on behalf of pay and salary compensation increase on the board of commissioners. They'll tell you Oz Nesbit.
How about this one that just came in? This just came in, and this is straight up text message to my phone. So our chairman voted down buying 3 police cars to put people in, but yet he bought himself a new car. That is just in on my phone right now. But yet he bought himself a new car, but voted down buying a new police car to protect the streets. That's just in. I'm strictly just reading what's being sent to me. I know I need to turn it back over to Denise to ask questions, but I've had other people sending me stuff. This becomes a city issue more than a county, but this is being asked at you. We have no.
So with the money we spent to buy the chairman his new vehicle, we could have purchased 2 more patrol cars. And
that's how the question or the statement was.
And the vehicle that the chairman was previously driving is sitting over there, parked.
Nobody's using it.
Yes, nobody's using it.
Why have we not sold it?
That's what I was about to say.
It gets used occasionally
for
lunch? The grocery store?
By the chief of staff or anybody in the county office. So the car is now assigned to the board of commissioners office. Now we have 2 vehicles. We have an old 1990 something Crown Vic that's assigned to the board of commissioners to use for official business. You also have the old Ford Expedition that is nothing wrong with it, and it's a good looking vehicle that the chairman used to drive that's sitting over there that is occasionally used by the chief of staff when he wants to run an errand in the county for whatever reason under county business. So could the chairman have continued to drive the vehicle that's parked there every day? Yes, he could have. Could we have used the money we purchased that new car with to get 2 more patrol cars? Yes, we could have. That's already been played out. You can pull up the article. It's all there. I voted against it.
All right,
Yes,
somebody just said extreme makeover for the sheriff's office and the entire Rockdale government, but he just said he gave them a 10. That was just from another listener.
Okay, well, stop right there, Scotty.
Yes, sir. Keep going.
Because people aren't listening. Now, I didn't say that. This is what I said. Human resources needs an extreme makeover.
Yes.
Can I get an amen?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
That is what you said.
And I gave the sheriff's office a 10 rating in terms of their performance and how I rate them as an office in this community. I didn't say that the sheriff's office needed an extreme makeover. I said the county office of human resources needs an extreme makeover. So here's what I want to say, folks. If you're texting, if you're listening, listen clearly to what I'm saying, because this whole thing has been recorded for quality assurance.
Yes, and I want to be very clear to anybody right now. We are filming on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is live, which means anybody can go back, they can share it. But we also are filming live on Facebook right now.
It's just so funny how people hear what they want to hear.
Yeah.
Now,
rewind.
Watch this. Don't get this wrong. How in the hell are you going to hear me say that, but you can't hear me say what I'm really saying? Now, did you hear that?
Selective
Yes.
hearing.
And listen, and I just got a text message And look, it's 8:46, so at 8:42 this came in. So this person was typing it as somebody else was typing it, but the chairman got his brand new vehicle. How funny is it that as we were discussing the money thing, multiple text messages, and there was a couple that were cussing that I've not read. So I do want to wave to you on camera and apologize for not reading, but that was way too many F-bombs about the commission, the chairman's new car. But just know that I'm on the same page with you. I can see that his car, I'm just going to be a smart ass and say this. I see his car being driven from his house to work, maybe down to get a biscuit or something for breakfast, maybe back to the office, maybe to lunch, maybe to a couple of meetings. And I see that police car that could have been purchased.
Don't leave Atlanta
driving up and down my road.
Don't leave Atlanta out. He spends a lot of time. I don't know why.
Our
he spends a lot of time in Atlanta. Now he is. I would
love for him to come in and have his word. By the way, y'all, I'm pointing to the camera.
Let me say it and get it out right for the facts, because I know people. A part of the responsibility as chairman of the Rockdale County government, you have to build regional relationships with other communities and other counties as well. No one can get anything done by themselves. So that being said, there's what is called the ARC, the Atlanta Regional Commission.
Right.
And so he has to participate in meetings and activities with them. But I don't want to be so submerged and involved in any type of regional activity that I don't take care of home first.
That's what I was about to say. He's the chairman of Rockdale County.
I know we got to something else, but this just coming in, and I just have to. I'm probably slinging mud, but I've got to answer this. I have somebody saying, but the chairman's secretary uses the vehicle. ... Maybe she uses it to do the illegal stuff that she just got arrested for. What is that? Is that something? I have no information on this other than this text. What was this person arrested for?
I have no idea.
Okay. So, Mr. Listener, in fact, please text me to explain what that comment means.
I don't know anything about that. I have no idea.
Okay. And I didn't know, and I don't know. So I'm making very clear on camera to everybody, and everybody that's listening.
Maybe, Scotty, that was their sideway, backdoor way of making us aware of something that we didn't know.
Maybe. Well, look, do we got a second, everybody? Let's take a quick break. It's 8:48.
Yes, because I have to use
everyone needs to take a breather. I'm going to restart the live Facebook as well. So everybody take a breather.
You gonna play some James Brown?
Yeah, I'll play some James Brown. By the way, it was actually funny. I had Jim send the first text message and then multiple text messages, and then a few minutes later, Tara, and both of them are saying thank you for supporting the ice ring. So that was a real good thing to bring in to help stand behind, to bring into our community, because it's really such a good thing.
Always good to be with the Pink Pooch Parade. Jim has been excellent for the community of Rockdale with the ice skate. Jim's been good to me, and I'm going to be good to Jim.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, everybody, we're going to shoot off to commercial real quick. I know we were going over, but hey, we just have to, because this is the situation today. We are, in fact, just taking it to a whole nother level. You know, I went to a big meeting a couple of weeks back. Oz hit me up, told me the next day how proud he was of me, that I kept it as professional as possible. I had somebody kind of get under my skin, and I still did what I had to do to stay professional. And in fact, I'm the citizen. I get to do that too. So, all right, everybody, give us a minute. We'll be right back.
I don't see any arrest information.
I don't either. I'm strictly just doing what was asked.
Name?
What is her name?
Get on up.
Dr. Katrina Holloway.
And on record, Oz is not saying she did anything. No, Oz is strictly saying Google her.
I don't know anything about it.
That's right. If there's information to be found, we're fixing to find it. I got to shut Facebook Live off for just a few seconds.
I just give you her name.
Yeah.
Right.
But for the record, Oz has nothing to do with that conversation.
Dr. Katrina with a K, Katrina, like Katrina, Hurricane Katrina, Holloway.
some reason it's trying to save the Facebook Live. To
What you got, Stephanie?
here.
You
It's
found
not
something?
supposed to.
Oh, no. It's something that my cousin sent me.
Oh.
Yeah, that I've got a couple from that source.
The one in Latonia.
Oh, the hangout?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Sloppy.
Wow. In the company vehicle.
All
Are
the
you
time.
serious?
All the time.
Wow.
On the county line of here and there.
Here and there. Like the whole
I haven't had an opportunity. It like blocks me. I don't know what it is, but I don't.
well, when it's filming live on Facebook, it shouldn't take up any of my memory because I guess I don't have much choice, do I?
You don't make it sound like that, but
Well, I mean, the whole we can talk about that later. But I don't. I mean,
I know.
but you invited the band in. I mean, it puts me where I don't have a choice.
If I still had Alex,
You know what I mean?
I know.
It just puts me in a situation.
Don't hate me.
I'm not. That's those things that have to be looked at. Yeah, but my problem is I had somewhere to be.
Oh, see, now you're gonna make me feel
I'm
bad.
not trying to, but it was. No, there's no reason. Yeah, I got the PB dance going, man. I got the beat. Could you hurry?
I'm just
God,
almost
rub your nose out there.
Hey, David said that the Facebook.
He said the Facebook Live keeps pausing. It was doing that yesterday too.
I was saying I didn't do it. I didn't do anything.
And what's that?
No, it was not.
Yeah, what it is for some reason it's saying that my memory's full, and I'm like, really? Come on, dude.
Yeah, because you should see the picture I got when you were frozen yesterday.
Huh?
Did a screenshot when you froze up yesterday.
Oh, so it was just freezing, period?
Yeah. Look,
That's
I'll
crazy.
look.
Don't worry about it. Oh, send, go ahead. We just ain't got
You're sitting next to me. I can show it to you
busy.
when you sit down.
Look. When we go back, hit go live. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Rock and
Ladies
roll.
and gentlemen, we are back
Welcome.
live on Just for Friggin' Fun Radio. Can I put an F in front of the 4? I mean, people would really look at that bad, though.
Yes, they would. Yes.
Yeah.
Can't put it behind it because then it looked like the 4-H club, but then they would be like, didn't you spell that wrong? I didn't say that, sir.
You're
So
funny.
anyhow,
Yeah,
Um,
they already say you spell wrong.
Well, you know, part of being dyslexic. Are you trying to pick on me because I'm handicapped?
I don't think you can get
Facts.
yeah, I don't think you can get a little thing to hang in your car for handicapped if you're dyslexic. You'd be putting it on the rearview mirror.
Listen, if they gave me something that was handicapped for dyslexic, it would only show the wheelchair. It wouldn't even have any writing under it because I couldn't read it anyway.
Wow.
Anyway, all right, you ready to jump back?
Denise is all excited.
You ready to jump back into some questions, Oz? All righty.
Gonna have to have headphones on there, boss.
All right, everybody, remember, keep all the questions on the legit up and up. This is the time, as Oz called it. He is putting himself on the hot seat. He volunteered to come in, and this is what he looked forward to do.
Yeah, got quiet.
Okay, so we're gonna jump back to the economics real quick. This was a question that was asked. Can you explain to me why you, as my commissioner, have our county operating from the reserves? That's like running a household budget from a savings account. At some point, the savings account dries up, much like our reserves. What are you, as a commissioner, doing to replace the funds leaving?
I voted against the budget that placed us in a situation where we're in an $8 million deficit. The other two commissioners voted to approve that budget. I voted against it. I think in order to get us out of that situation, there's several things that's going to have to happen in our community. One of the things that people don't want to talk about much. First of all, I think I want to educate our public and let you know that in order for us to provide funding to operate the county, there is not a mystery pot of money that's sitting around that just get filled up on a day-to-day basis with money. The money to operate this county comes from tax-paying citizens. When you pay your property tax at home, if you own a business, you pay your property taxes there. As a citizen and a patron inside of a store, when you go to eat out, you go to Walmart, you go to any restaurant or any retail outlet, you pay taxes. All of those taxes are collected by the tax commissioner. The tax commissioner collects the monies, and the money is divided up in three primary ways. The city of Conyers gets a slice of the pie. The county of Rockdale receives a slice of the pie. The school system in Rockdale County, the Board of Education, gets the largest slice of the pie. All the taxes are collected by the tax commissioner, and it goes three ways. City of Conyers, Rockdale County Board of Commissioners, and the school system, Rockdale County Board of Education. The Board of Education receives the largest portion of the pie, the largest slice. When the Rockdale County Board of Commissioners, my office, get our slice of the pie, typically and historically, the largest amount of our distribution almost always goes to public safety. As your commissioner, my number one responsibility is to make sure you live in a safe community. So we make certain that public safety get as much of that pie of those funds as we possibly can. We also allocate funds to Parks and Recreation, to the fire department, to 911, to senior services, to transportation for repair of road and road maintenance. That's how the money is split up. But I want people to understand where the money comes from. Now, we've gone into our reserve funds multiple years. And when the budget came up this past year at the end of 2015 to operate all of 2016, I voted against it because it makes no sense. What will have to happen? There's going to have to be an increase in funding going into that pot that I described. Where's that going to come from? More home ownership, more businesses, more manufacturing and industrial opportunities coming into our community to create a greater tax base. Because if we don't get more of what I just described, more homeowners,
definitely got to get some
more
business
business
here,
and more manufacturing and industrial, then we're going to continue to be operating on the small amount of money that we have. So what do you do, Oz, if you don't get those things in? Guess what? Just like she proposed it to me, you're going to have to scale back. What does that mean in county government? Somebody's going to get laid off.
cut back unnecessary things.
You're going to have to scale back all non-essential functions and activities. Anything that is non-essential will have to be cut back if we don't have an increase in our tax revenue. If the tax revenue doesn't increase, if we don't get more homeowners, more big business, more sales tax at the cash register, if not more is collected, then the county government will have to cut back on services. Some of the things that you like and enjoy, if the money is not coming in, it's like a house, like what she said. If somebody got laid off, then maybe you have to cut the cable. Maybe you have to stop the newspaper subscription. Maybe you don't go to the beauty salon every week. Maybe you don't get a haircut every week. Maybe you calculate your gas and your fuel in your car and how much you ride and go.
To me, that's a real simple decision. Police cars, chairman car. Police cars. I mean, that's just an example. What is needed? What is not needed?
Well, and let's do this. I'm not a fan of the shoulda, woulda, and the coulda. The chairman has that new car now. So guess what? That's history now. And
but you got your examples, you know what I mean?
But stay with me. We could only have purchased 2 cars from the money we spent, and that is 2 cars to add to our fleet, and I agree. So I voted against the new car anyway. But what I'm saying is that's done now. It's done. And we're not taking the car back. None of that's happening. We have to think and focus on the future. We can stay here all day talking about shoulda, woulda, and coulda. Now, you can deal with that if and when you're able to get the chairman in this hot seat.
Right.
But for the sake of our conversation, the sake of time,
all right,
and
well,
moving this
let's move on to this because we
talk about what's
we were on something
now.
about taxes. Let me ask you this. We brought this up one time before, months and months ago when you popped in. For instance, my trash people cannot show up at the same time or even close to the same time. One day they want to be here at 6 a.m. and one day they want to be here at 3 p.m. What is the view on doing what Gwinnett County has done and what DeKalb County has always done? I grew up in DeKalb, moved to Gwinnett, and we finally got into Gwinnett. What is it to say that we go with one trash company for the county? Some people are saying that's not right. They should be able to use who they want. But I know just like DeKalb, my water bill also had my trash involved. I know in Gwinnett, that's the same thing that happened. To me, it was easier in Gwinnett because now instead of 5 different trash trucks shooting through our neighborhood, on one day, one truck was in our neighborhood and we knew what day it was and we knew roughly what time it was. What is your feel on doing that? Because like right now, I got a trash can full of trash I can't do anything with because in another second part of this conversation, we don't have a dumping area like Newton County. So A, how do you feel about getting us one trash company? And B, why don't we have a dumping area like Newton County?
I think it's a mindset. I think it's a change of culture. I think the people in Rockdale County, they've got to really ask themselves a question about whether we want to stay in a Mayberry mindset and mentality or whether we want to be a world-class community. And
I want to say this. When I say Mayberry, I know somebody got hung the other day when I said Mayberry. I mean Mayberry in the safety sense, not in 1950. Because I know when me and you were the other day, I said Mayberry, and a lot of people got hung on that.
When I say Mayberry, I'm saying small mind.
Right. Let's go big scale.
If we're going to be a world-class community, we cannot be picky and choosy and selective about when we want to be a world-class community. Mm-hmm. If you're going to run with the big dogs, you have got to get off the porch.
That's right.
You can't say, well, I'll get off the porch on Monday, but I'll stay on the porch on Thursday. I'll get off the porch on Sunday, but I'll be off the porch on Wednesday. If you're going to get off the porch, baby, you got to get completely off the porch. Now, some people are having a difficult time with this particular situation about the trash collection and whether we should have one or two companies picking up all the trash and the waste in Rockdale County. But when we talk about this subject of code enforcement and we're talking about keeping Rockdale clean and beautiful, then come on, folks. Put your intelligent cap on.
That's right.
Put your intelligent thinking cap on. Here's what we're going to do. If you have one or two trash collectors, it's going to save wear and tear on our roads.
Our taxes are having a fix.
It's going to save wear and tear on our roads in Rockdale County. We will now be able to identify if there's a company leaving debris or that old stinky garbage truck juice dripping down the road. We would know. You would also know what times and what days. You'll also have implemented a recycling program for aluminum cans, plasticware, and all other products that don't typically go in every type of trash disposal. You will up-level and upscale your residents in the community. You'll bring them out of the Mayberry mentality and bring them into the world-class thinking of bringing Rockdale up. You will create a standard in the community. Well, ours, it knocks out the Billy Bob's and the Johnny Boys trash companies. Well, I'm not in the business of trying to knock anybody out.
But it also creates more jobs.
I'm not in the business of trying to knock anybody out because we all have to eat. So what is important that we do is find the best way and find the common ground for the community, not for the Spencers, not for the Nesbits, not for anybody else's, but for the community. When I make a decision as your county commissioner, it may not all set well with what happens at the Nesbit household, but you didn't elect me to make everything perfect for the Nesbits. You elected me to make it right for Rockdale County.
For the people, yes.
For the people in this community. Now, for those people who want to see a cleaner Conyers and a more beautiful Rockdale, then they'll understand the concept of going from multiple trash collectors at any given time or any given day in our community, tearing up our roads, to perhaps one or maybe two companies.
Yeah.
And let me, while we're on this subject, let me do a little bit more educating. In the city of Conyers, they have only one trash collector, one company that picks up. There's not Willie B and Bolly Boo and Sally Sue garbage collectors.
Right.
There's one company that picks up all the trash inside the city of Conyers. They don't have that problem.
I was going to say, how did they make it so simple? Because let me tell you, yesterday what sucks.
Well, let me tell you how
is
they make
people are walking home from school in
a
a dripping garbage truck was slinging stuff on the kids walking down the sidewalk. Now, Billy Bob, you need to do something about your 1970 trash truck and step it up, because if you're going to be working in our county, don't you as citizens, don't you feel that there should be a level of quality that you're paying for? I mean, this truck's smaller than all the other trucks. I know he's a small business, but you're slinging the juice on kids walking down the sidewalk, where it should be a time frame of you're only picking up trash at this time of the morning after school and after school starts, and maybe you shouldn't be doing it in the afternoon while people are walking home from school.
Just remember me saying this. It's a mindset. It's a culture change.
Yes.
And the thing about any form of or any level of change, change is the most difficult word to deal with and to digest, because none of us really like change.
That's right.
Change is good and can be good depending on how it's implemented. So there's some people who are holding on to Billy Bob and his brothers and uncles picking up their trash. They've been doing it that way for 30 years.
I just got, though, that if Billy Bob isn't doing his job, then I don't have a problem knocking him out.
Well, I'm just saying, it's a mindset.
I know.
It's a mindset.
All right, well, let's go on, Denise. I see you chopping at the bit there. You got questions, Steph?
here recently in the news, it was suggested that Rockdale County is raising the taxes to pay the streetlight bills.
Keep talking. I'm fixing your EQ, by the way.
Oh, okay. What is your feeling on that?
I was not aware of that, and
Yeah, that was on WSB News Channel 10.
Yes.
okay. So here's the thing, and I think this is what a lot of the confusion happens in our community, because we're only a community of 90,000 or less people, and we're a small county, the second smallest county. And I think what happens, even with the media, when they report the stories, they don't distinguish the city of Conyers or Rockdale County. So I'm not sure that that article is referencing the mayor's office and the city council and the city of Conyers, or are they really talking about the Board of Commissioners? I would like to believe if I'd know about it.
Yeah, I would hope so.
That's
Yeah.
what I was
and
about
we-
to say, because
And that
how
was
are
from
you?
WSB Channel 2, so that's why
Yes.
we were even willing to discuss it.
So sometimes in the regional media broadcast, they get the governments in our community
Mixed up.
They say stuff Conyers and Rockdale for Rockdale and vice versa.
Right,
They get it all
And I wanted to clear
twisted.
that up too.
And then when the article is written,
Yeah.
people say, man, the article says Conyers. But then people say Rockdale County is doing so and so and so and so. Well, wait a
There's a
minute.
difference.
Are you talking about the city of Conyers, or are you talking about Rockdale County? It's just like
Right.
with law enforcement.
Well, before
We
you
have
get
a
into the
city-
law part, though,
we have
this
a
is
city-
just to go into that.
We have a city police and we have a county sheriff.
Yes.
So when you speaking, you have to be specific
On the
as
two.
to what you're talking about.
Right. One of the shop owners in Old Town had said, we have signs up, and he's new to the area, so he doesn't understand city and county yet.
And where is he at?
He's in Old Town.
That's
So-
in the city.
Right,
limits.
and that's what I was going to cover because we're on that. So there's a sign about no loitering and littering, and why do all the shop owners have to clean up and police the area? Again, Oz is with county, and that is city. I did not know for like the first year of knowing Oz, I did not know that there is a huge wall of China that splits the two of them in half. The county only gets to talk about county stuff, and the city only deals with city stuff, and it's such a huge gap of separation. So I want to make sure for that listener that you understand that part of it, because it's just in the part he was discussing is if they're saying the city of Conyers, that doesn't describe Rockdale. It's such a huge disaster.
And let me say this: it's not as complicated or perplexed as some people might think. Because only as an example, I'll use DeKalb County. There are multiple cities inside of DeKalb County, but the sheriff of DeKalb County is the chief law enforcement. I don't care if it's Pine Mountain or Stone Mountain or the city of Decatur
Right.
or any of those cities inside DeKalb County. The sheriff is the chief law enforcement officer.
Yes.
And
So I hope that covers
each
that.
city has a mayor and a councilman. Okay, so when you mention, you got to be specific about the area in which you're talking about. I want people to be informed, but I want you to be educated and intelligent about the things that you're saying. So you're not just running off the cuff saying stuff and
That's
creating a rainfall of stuff, and we're looking like we're ignorant.
Right. I just wanted to make sure that it was real clearly known that if you have a situation inside the city, you have to go to City Hall to discuss it.
All right. Mike, you want to jump to the next one?
Yeah. How you holding there, bud?
I'm doing well. I'm loving
You
it.
good?
Let's bring it on, baby.
All right. I'm gonna switch over to now. It's near and dear to my heart. The two things I think about: law enforcement and then security. Oh, I'm breaking all up. And then the next thing I have to ask you about is the schools. And there's so many things going on. My children all three of my kids went to Rockdale County. My daughter graduating from Salem High School right down the street here from the studio. Here are my concerns, and it goes along with something that was text over to me. Actually, I think this came to one of the other co-hosts, and they shot it over to me. But it says, let's talk education. I realize that you do not have a lot of control over this area, but Rockdale County School Districts was once top-rated district in Georgia. People are willing to pay any amount of money to move here, but now they can't get enough money to get out. Give us 3 things that as a commissioner that you could do. Now, there's a little footnote here that I looked up. Commissioner being, how much pull do you have in county educational matters? Because currently we're ranked 72 out of 177 districts in Georgia. So basically the question is, what will be some of your institutional changes in education we'll see from Oz when you take the seat?
I think, first of all, I really appreciate the person who posed that question is educated, informed about what's within my purview and what's not. I'm not a member of the Rockdale County Board of Education. I don't serve on the Board of Education. That person did acknowledge that. I am a county commissioner. I have a relationship with the school board and the school board trustees or the members of the Board of Education, as well as the school board superintendent, the superintendent of schools. I have a relationship with those folks, and being in good harmony or in good concert in our community, everything is about or built upon relationships.
Absolutely.
Now, my number one thing that I would say to all of the citizens in Rockdale County, especially the parents, if you are in fact a parent in this community and your child is enrolled in one of our public schools, you need to be as active as you possibly can. You need to be a part of the PTO, the PTA program. You also need to be going to the school board meetings. They have open board meetings, just like the Board of Commissioners, just like the City Council has a City Council meeting inside the City of Conyers. So my encouragement is that your parental involvement level and participation increases. If you have an issue or concern that you'd like for me to use or utilize my influence to communicate on your behalf with one of the members of the school board or perhaps the superintendent's office, I will continue to do that as I've done in the past. But I want to encourage you to go out and be present at the school board meetings. Find out who your school board members are. Build a relationship with your local school principal and your school superintendents. That is what I encourage. I think that the county government is busy taking care of the county as a whole. But no, I have received several calls from residents on several occasions about school board scenarios or situations or what have you. And I first explained to that person, I'm not a member of the Board of Education. But because I understand your inquiry, your question, or your concern, I will call one of the board members or the president of the Board of Education or perhaps the school superintendent and make them aware of your concern, or perhaps even advocate your concern on your behalf. I'm not opposed to doing that. But I want to make sure that people understand what their own personal civic responsibility is, and that is to get involved.
I mean, you're definitely putting a lot of pressure, a lot of direction on the parents, and which I personally, Military Mike, is 100%.
You're not even on now.
Yeah,
No.
it lost you.
Check
Yeah,
your. There you go.
Am I working now?
Yeah, no.
No.
No. Yes.
Somebody kicked something under the table.
Probably.
There
Oz,
you go.
Oz over there jumping around.
No, that's just, I need to replace those wires.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Okay, he's back now.
I'm back now.
Get it while you
So,
can.
I guess what I'm really saying is that you don't have too much involvement. You're not part of the Board of Education, but I mean, you're going to be sitting in those meetings with these people, right? With the
No,
there's no crossover.
So let's not confuse them at all.
Good.
The Board of Commissioners is not in a meeting with the city council.
Okay.
We're not sitting in a meeting with the Board of Education. And also, I want to go ahead and give you another piece of education. Right now, today, there are 5. Somebody write this down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seats on the Board of Education that are up for election.
Wow.
We need to meet up with them too.
There are 5. Somebody say 5.
5.
Bingo.
5 seats are up for election.
Wow.
With the Board of Education. So if you're out there in Radio Land and you're listening, and you are a strong and passionate person about education in our community, this is an opportunity for you to be a voice for our children, to be a voice for our schools, to be a voice for our teachers and our educators by putting your name on the ballot to seek office as a member of the Board of Education.
Let me ask you a question. I'm in the news and social media, not personally, but I'm saying I dig into it every day, Monday through Monday. And I'm going to be honest with you. I had no idea there were 5 seats available on the county board of it. Did anybody else?
No.
Is that, and I mean, we all have kids. It is, I'm dumbfounded. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. Seriously, because that's a big deal. If you ask me, because I tell you what, one of the big deals I had.
Let me interrupt you and say this.
Sure.
No, it's not a big deal. It's a huge deal. Because did you hear what I said earlier about the slice up of the pie?
Yeah.
The largest majority of the money goes where, Denise?
The Board of Education.
To the
Supposedly.
to the Board of Education. When the taxes are collected in Rockdale County, they get divided to 3 main places. The City of Conyers, Rockdale County government, and the Rockdale County Public Schools. The Rockdale County Public Schools get the majority of the tax dollars that are collected in our community. So, there are 5 seats up and available now.
It's a 7-member board.
There are 5 seats available now. Qualifying period. Write this down, somebody, so you have fact stuff. I'm going to give you fact. Qualifying period begins March 7th through the 11th. What does that mean? Anyone who is interested in running for any public office in the state of Georgia, which includes Rockdale County, you have between March 7th and 12 o'clock on March 11th to pay your qualifying fee for the seat that you're running for. For an example, I'm running for the office of chairman. I have to pay $3,200 by noontime on March 11th if I want my name on the ballot. Or otherwise, I've been just hot air.
Well, now knowing that it's a 7-member board and 5 seats are available, I'll be doing some.
And it's only $75 if you want to run for the seat. They only have to pay $75.
We don't need
for
Mike
Board of
running
Education.
for the Board of Education.
No. You know me. I don't do public office. I would be flogged. But gosh, I tell you, man, that's I think it's important. Yeah, I think it's important that the commissioner side of the house and the Board of Education side of the house, 2 very different things without crossover. Because I think what happens is our schools are, it gets personal, it gets emotional, and then we turn around and call our county commissioner back.
That's right.
And it's
Well, you can't do any business if you're going to get caught up in your emotions. You got to leave your emotions somewhere else.
I want to make a statement, and we're going to go to the next question. I don't want to sound like throwing Oz under the bus because I don't know if he really wants to answer this, but at this point, why are you the only one that's running for an election? Why are you the only one willing to come and be on the show and answer all the direct questions? And I don't know that you would want to give a personal opinion because it might, it might come out wrong or whatever. But I'm saying it as a statement to all y'all that are listening. Why if there's all these seats open for election, why does nobody stand somewhere and tell people their point of view? Why does nobody make a public showing to say, this is why I believe I should take the seat? I don't know whether that should be a statement or a question. I'm confused. Why is it that you, Oz Nesbit, are so open to come do these things and we can't get anybody else to be willing to be so open? I don't understand it. I guess it's because I'm confused. I don't know whether it's a statement or a question.
Well, I'm going to take it as a question. I started off telling you guys that my passion for this community is truly in my blood. It's in my bone. It's in my DNA. I love what I do. I enjoy what I do. And it's the air that I breathe in terms of my involvement. I'm open. I'm candid. I'm accessible. I believe that I'm very approachable. And I want people to be involved in what's going on in their community. So one of the things I try to do is educate and inform people. I don't like ignorance. I don't like drama and mess. So I'll try to educate our general public about what's really going on. People don't know. Last year, the number one question I got at the barbershop or at church was, why y'all got 5 mattress firms and 5 mattress firms right there and da 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 da.
Yeah, that was actually a question.
I found out some scoop about that we'll talk after the show.
No. Let me do this right here, right now. Here is the.
Yeah, we'll mark this one off.
Here is the education and the information, so that when you ask these questions, you will be intelligent and you'll make sure that you're going down the right road. The mattress firms are inside of the city of Conyers.
That's right.
They sure are.
They are not in Rockdale County's jurisdiction. They're inside the city.
The city.
Now,
there's your echo.
Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Mattress firm is a private owned company business.
And one gentleman owns both of them on each side of the interstate.
Mattress firm is a private owned company and business. If you ran a business and you had multiple locations or the opportunity to put multiple locations, and the city or the county allow you to put as many as you want to, you're going to just pop them up and put them there because you want to do what?
You want to make money. Yes.
So now, can the city have an ordinance that prohibits certain kinds of businesses within a certain zone, a certain area, a certain distance? Yes, they can, and yes, they do. What and why didn't this apply to a mattress firm? I don't know. I'm not a city council. It's in the city.
That's right.
Okay.
All right. And I got more on that because I've been looking into this for quite some months, and I do have some intel, but I'm not going to share it until I have what's called proof. Next question, please.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Please explain what changes we could expect to see in your first year as chairman.
One of the things that you're going to see in my first year as chairman, in fact, I like to say my first 100 days in office, that I want to assure the people of Rockdale County that the level of customer service, interacting with any counter, any desk, any on the phone or email correspondence will be an excellent rating, because I believe that the people that work for our county government will embody or inherit the spirit of the leadership, customer service. I will make sure you will have a chairman who works in a cohesive manner with your public safety. We'll also do an extreme makeover in our human resources department, as well as our code enforcement division. So whatever I've said so far: customer service, cohesive relationship with the sheriff's office, an extreme makeover where human resources and code enforcement. You will also continue to receive the highest level of responsiveness from your county office than you've ever seen and received before.
Doesn't that go back to customer service?
That goes
though?
back to customer service. Absolutely.
Okay, Steph.
Well, this is a question. I
And
don't
it
know.
doesn't take a year to do that. I said my first 100 days.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you know about the stormwater division of the county, but the question is, what exactly is the service for? And if it is to keep the drains clean, why am I paying for a service that the drains aren't being kept clean?
And that's one of the areas that we've had our weakest level of education and information in terms of informing the public. When you receive that $40 stormwater bill, why did you have to pay it? I get a bill, you get a bill, everybody in the county gets the bill. Stormwater has a direct impact on the sewer wastewater treatment facility in Rockdale County. Whatever you put into a public drain or a creek, it all goes to a center where it's filtered with chemicals to make sure that we have the right level of drinking water and we are able to process waste and wastewater so we can keep a clean and healthy, safe environment so we don't run into what the people in Flint, Michigan are dealing with right now. So in some people's mind, because we have not done, we the county, a good job of informing and educating the public as to why that money is important. You allow us to go out with that money and unclog drains. Do you know people are still taking grease and fat and waste and pouring it down the drain?
Well, and not counting people pouring their oil in the street down the drains.
You know, some people are still using a toilet as a garbage disposal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
People are putting all kinds of, and you may not think that it has an impact on you, but it does. So when you pay your storm water bill, it goes to allow us to unclog the drains so that when we have tremendous amounts of rain, we don't have flooding,
Right.
water backing up into your home or your business, and that we're able to treat, somebody say treat the waste water. Because here's what you don't know. Now, this is going to be a little graphic for you. It's going to be a little graphic. I'm going to say it one more time. It's going to be a little graphic.
Kids, close your ears.
The same water that you're flushing in the toilet also gets treated and recycled with high chemicals. And you end up what? Drinking the same water.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Well,
So-
how do you think? How do you
Guess
think they
what?
treat it?
Guess what? That is not a Rockdale County thing. That's
That's
a
everywhere.
world thing.
Can I
That's
ask
a
this
world
question?
thing.
With the storm drains, because when I saw that the first time, remember, I've been
People
in
take yard waste and they push leaves and debris.
well, the motor oil.
They put motor oil. They put beer cans and piss and
Yeah.
everything in the
He's
world
on it.
inside of your local drain.
Now, let me ask this question, and I know some listeners.
Mike, you knows about this.
I know
Help
some
me out.
of these listeners are going to want to complain when I say this, and really, quite honestly, I'm entitled to my opinion and my freedom of speech, just like you guys. Here's my thing:
Dog poop,
cow
poop,
when I first came to
chicken
this
poop,
county and saw
people
this
poop.
storm
In the
drain
drain.
bill, my thoughts are: why do we have a separate one? Why is it just not moved into our water and
bill?
sewer?
Yeah.
Why is it? Because honestly, I would rather just. I love you too, my brother. I would rather pay. How about this? And everybody can argue this all day long. I would rather pay an extra $5 a month
Yes.
than you send me a separate bill once a year, and I feel like I'm being hassled for that one bill. 12 months out of the year, if it's $150 a year, just break that down by each month to put it in my damn bill already. Water, sewage, to me,
Yes,
the
'cause
same
they
people.
put it on your credit report if you don't pay it.
Here we go. I said earlier, it's a mindset. It's a culture change. Going from Mayberry to a world-class community. In other communities, they call it watershed. And watershed encompasses all of it. They bring it all under one director, under one department, and in a lot of counties, for your stormwater bill, as well as your regular water bill, you get one bill a year.
Mhm.
That's right.
And they send it out with your tax statement.
Yes.
But wait a minute.
It only sounds smart. What's the problem?
The problem is a mindset, a transformation of the mind, how we think. If you're going to think with a Mayberry mentality, but you're going to have an appetite for a world-class community, folks, it's not going to work.
Look, I want it like Peachtree City and not Selma.
If I'm going to Ruth Chris Steakhouse,
thank you,
but I have varsity money in my pocket, I'm not going to get served.
There you go. Now look, we got to take.
If I get served and eat the steak, I'm going to jail.
That's right. We got to take a quick break, restroom break. And I had a question.
Again?
I had a question.
Y'all about the
but I'm supposed to play commercials every 20 minutes, you know. So here's what I was asked, and I'm gonna answer it.
Tomorrow night I'm singing karaoke.
I'm not even gonna put Oz. I'm not even gonna put Oz on the spot. Ask him if he would call Ted Cruz a pussy. No, but I just did. Okay, going to a commercial. We'll be right back, everybody. It's just fun in the morning. Sorry, I'm not gonna put him on blast like that. I'm not. Why would I put him on blast like that?
The world according to Mike just went early.
Goodness.
Wow.
I'm not gonna put him on blast.
Wow.
Listen, that's what you were supposed to say is just for fun.
It's just for fun, guys.
Ted Cruz, if you're watching. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Well, not like you could see me anyway.
Ted Cruz is in South Carolina.
Yep.
He's down in South Carolina now.
Did you watch any of that last night?
No, I actually missed it. I was out campaigning late into the night.
Really?
And I looked at the big screen at the location I was located at. And I saw that Sanders had slid in the wind. And I said,
Yeah.
Okay, Hillary, you're in trouble.
I think she's going to lose a lot of seats. Plus campaign. But get this.
No. It's far from over. It's far from over.
His speech scared me.
It is far
I drank way too
from
much coffee
over.
this morning. And not enough food.
I just need a water toilet paper.
Hey, a
So
water
I can
toilet
blow my
paper.
nose.
Hey, I keep it. You see me now. My nose, with the weather being the way it is. There you go, sir.
What is that stuff called?
Morphine?
No.
No, why would you say that? That's what you use, Mike. All right, now I've got to kick the big mic on because everybody's stepping away, and I don't want but this right here, if you breathe the wrong way, people are hearing you. So be careful with anything.
This woman.
I just be doggone.
You want to hear something funny, Oz? Right now,
I've got. By the way, we go back at 9:43, so that gives us about 5 minutes roughly. By the time I put some other stuff on,
I have got the media liaison for the Texas Convention of States project, who represents Senator Cogburn, listening to the show.
That's good.
In Texas, man. Oh.
Having fever blowout.
Yeah, those were the big ones I used to do, man. That was my own big one that I did every year. I just got tired of it.
You're tired of being cooped up, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Come on out.
It was just trying to be the promoter, trying to work it, and everything was getting, oh man, it was too much. Because couldn't be the guy behind the mic and the guy trying to run it.
Well, you got people that. Yeah. Never mind. You know what? I'm gonna pee.
Yeah, gotta get it big.
Because walking is a trick right now. How about that with the Board of Education? The 7-person board.
He's doing stuff here in Conyers, but if you call that number, he'll tell you where he is in other locations of Georgia. Dr. Ink Eraser to take care of all your laser tattoo removal needs.
Hello, I start every morning by listening to the Just for Fun morning show with DJ Scotty. and the morning crew. And I do everything. I do it just for fun. Hello, I start every morning by listening to the Just for Fun morning show with DJ Scotty and the morning crew. And I do everything. I do it just for fun.
Are you ready to ice skate? Yes, you heard me right. Are you ready to ice skate? Ice Station has brought the ice skating rink back to Old Town of Conyers. This is the place to go with your family. It's top quality as far as safety. So you as a family have a sitting area for your family, but the teens have their own area. That's right, the teens have their own area. You can drop them up. There will be security there all the time. Skate 2 hours, but yet still hang out the rest of the night with their friends. Once inside the security area,
Mike's in there right now.
I'm
sorry, I just shared that everywhere.
So make sure you check out Ice Days Ice Skate
Mike's in there right now.
That way at the pavilion. Sponsored by Wake Coffee, Hometown Farmers.
Hey, girlie, that way I don't look like a bad guy.
No.
That makes sense.
Well, you in media, you can't worry about that.
Well, you know.
You can't worry about that
Ow!
because you're in the hot seat. And
I'm always
if you're gonna be in the hot seat, you gotta be in the hot seat.
I know.
You don't get to pick and choose. I told a deputy one time we was in the middle of a situation,
Hey, Steph,
and
this
she was
again,
straddled
you just have to
between
hit-
me and the other
you just
deputy.
have to hit the button.
And I told she was on the top of an 8-foot tall fence gate, and I said, "Come on if you're coming. Come on if you're coming. You can't. If you coming, come on.
Don't sit on the fence.
Don't sit on the fence."
Are you picking up all of this now?
Yeah, this picks up everybody. This don't have the best sound in the world, but it's gonna have everybody. Well, it won't have everybody on video, but have everybody on sound. It's always on video and everybody on sound because the screen won't go wide enough. But the other camera just kept saying full.
How do you feel about it? Feel good about it? On what? Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna win. Okay. Yeah.
Hey,
I know. But it's.
I mean,
we're
'cause
talking,
this is.
yeah,
I know.
we're talking about stuff.
I'm just reminded.
There's no polling. You know, when I watch the stuff on politics and my show,
drink.
that's that like the agreement with my show.
No,
is
I just don't
the
eat
world
big
reporting
period.
mic doesn't go below state level in government discussions. That leaves it open for the morning show to do these things, you know. And but it's extremely difficult to see what's going on in the county. I mean, you know.
Just got a really good question. It's my turn when we get back, right?
That was my turn.
No, you just asked about the.
I asked about the stormwater.
Oh.
We talked about that.
My turn.
Okay, hurry up because I got a really good question.
Go ahead.
Scotty
I mean,
interjected.
I do. Mine.
What?
For some stuff.
You
So that's how
guys
it-
put this together a lot more than I did. I just.
All right, we got one
I
commercial.
asked
We're
one
back live.
question. Scotty added to it, shall I say, not interjected.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
added to it. And so, yeah, that whole
I
last
can't
little
really-
thing was about the stormwater.
Yeah, I really can't keep up. It's hard
We're just
because we ask
bouncing
the
back and
question
forth.
and then bing, bing.
Well,
bing,
you're
bing,
trying
bing,
to
and it's
stay
like,
on.
Like
Yeah.
he's asked one question about a specific topic.
We're going through and seeing if there's another question,
Yeah.
which that's what I
That-
tried to do was keep them kind of grouped
Categorized,
together and
yeah.
categorized.
But I
But
start getting,
what did you bring me?
oh my God, he didn't bring us
My
anything.
sugar dropped. Steph, somebody
My
else had to
sugar's
run
dropping.
it.
His sugar dropped and he's peeing a lot.
That's how I
What
know
does that
my.
mean?
That's how I know my sugar's back.
Did y'all hear about
When I'm low, I pee
about,
everywhere. I'm like a dog. Yeah. Yeah, but he said he's got a one he can. You guys just down fly rock. Are you kidding me?
We don't know because we didn't get a Powerball.
Hey, shh, introduce us back, Denise.
Hi, I'm Denise. No, just kidding. We're back with Oz
I like
long
walks on the beach.
and beer. What about?
Hi, we're back. It's
That
Just
was
for Fun
beautiful.
Radio, and you've got Commissioner Oz Nesbit live right here in the studio with you. And Denise has a
drinking
wonderful, wacky
problem.
question for me that she is ready to bring.
I
So,
just
welcome back to Just for Fun Radio. Here we go.
thank you, Oz.
Yeah, really.
I just got this in. What about your current day job has prepared you to manage all aspects of county government?
Wow, I love that question because my current day job has been in the people business for the last 30 years. For 10 years, I've focused in the area of auto sales and auto sales management. As you know, as a salesperson in the auto sales industry, you are constantly dealing with people in the area of customer service, math and mass management, and business. It has allowed me and afforded me the opportunity to understand that Rockdale County government can no longer be run simply as a government entity, but efficiently and effectively as a business. It's just like the example you talked about earlier with how to cut back things when the money is not coming in. You have to look at it as running a business or running a household, which is the same thing. So I've learned from management and the interaction of people being in the people business for the last 30 years. I don't take just the fact that I've been in auto sales, but all of my experience with the Richmond County Sheriff's Department, my experience with the Rockdale County Public Schools, my experience as a private business owner in the area of career development and coaching. All of my life experiences have afforded me the opportunity to be in the place where I am now to better serve and to best serve Rockdale County as its next chairman. So I take all of my world experience in the world of work, all of my personal life experiences, and I bring that formula together. And what you have is the absolute best chairman Rockdale County has ever seen before to move us in the direction that we need to go in.
Thank you. Steph.
It was Mike.
Hey, one time before y'all go any further.
What's up? Oh.
Allegedly, I'm learning I have to use the word allegedly. Allegedly, from one of my sources, that I have on solid word that one of the members of the Board of Education will not be seeking a re-election. So
that leaves 6 seats up.
Well, that still leaves a seat up, but somebody else is not trying to re-elect. All right, next question, Mike.
Wow, caught me mid-drift there. Blue monster burn. Okay, Oz, this one has to do with the changing demographics of the population in Rockdale County. And how is good? Basically, in a nutshell, I'm just going to throw it at you instead of reading all this information. But Black or African American represent 46% of the population of the county, with whites being at 44%. So obviously, there has been a shift. Now, what's really unique about this is the shift is in Black or African American women. Okay, so we've got the shift, and there's this whole thing about whites and white flight.
Is there a question in there?
Yeah, I'm asking him. What is he? You know, how does he plan to deal with this? Because when you have a demographic that changes that drastically, things in the city and in the county are going to be changing. So
what is exactly the question? Just so I'm on board.
Well, I'm saying there's more Black women in the county now than
so that means on the single Black man, his selection has really gotten good. I mean, is this a dating part of the show?
No. I'm talking about because single Black women have what? Children without husbands. That demographic is large. That means we have people that are working all day. The kids are coming home or the kids are going to daycare. Correct?
I still don't see a question here.
Well, I'm asking how is he going to change? The atmosphere has to change. You see what I'm saying? If the demographics change, the atmosphere has to change. The attitude has to change. Okay, so
you got where he's going. I'm lost.
Me too.
Yeah.
He's rolling his eyes.
Well, he understands what I'm asking.
Thanks.
No,
I just got oh my God from somebody about like what kind of question is that? So go ahead.
For the record.
Oz is married, so he's not interested in all these single women.
Or he's going to say something like, "I am an African American," like they did on the primaries last night. It was funny because everybody went, "Really?"
Okay, Oz, here's your chance to explain whatever this is. I have no idea.
For the record, there is a demographical shift in our community, and his numbers are just about right in terms of it. The community is pretty much 50-50 now, African American and white Caucasian. Moving forward, as the chairman of this county, I am not the chairman for Blacks, whites, Democrats, Republicans, gays, or straights. I'm the chairman for the people of Rockdale County. The large majority of influx of that shift has been, and he's also right about that too, more single African American women. the culture gets naturally changed by what comes into the community. The culture gets naturally changed by what comes and enters into the community. Now, from a community-wide standpoint, from where I sit and where I will sit as the chairman of the county, I think it's important that we have events and activities that caters to the total community, not just for blacks, not just for whites, not just for Republicans or Democrats or Baptists or Catholic or gay or straight. But I think we should have a community that is culturally diverse and have an opportunity to offer stuff and cater events and activities that center around the people, the places, and the faces that make up our community. I don't see no difference in the way that I'm going to do my job based upon it being a black woman, a white woman, a black man, a white man.
I see this as not. I feel like I've just watched Mad Max again. Like I just had moments of wastedness.
Well, I mean, we've Oz. I've been to some of the events that you've been to. You know, and that's where I'm going. Do you see a racial divide? I mean, how does the commissioner? You're saying that you're for all people. You're sexual orientation.
Let me say this: not all black women are single, and
not all of them are gay either. Mike.
The majority of the blacks that are here are part of families, and not all black women that are single have kids. But if you're talking about doing something that's going to really cater to educating our community, again, moving from a Mayberry mindset to a world-class thinking community, then we have to have a culture center,
right?
A center that you can, whether you're Greek, whether you're Asian, whether you're Latino or Hispanic, whether you're Puerto Rican, whether you're black, whether you're white and Caucasian, or whether you don't know what the hell you are, we have a center that will allow you to come in and participate in activities and events and figure out who you are, what you are, or just simply interact with everybody that's here. I think we need to take the emphasis off of race and place it on culture and culture awareness and educate people to understand that if I get cut and you get cut, we're going to both bleed red blood.
Yes.
I'm through with
Color
that.
does not matter
Done
at this
with
point.
that.
I'm through with that.
I like it.
All right, next question, next person.
You want to go ahead?
And by the way, I am the most inclusive candidate that's running in this race. I don't separate the black folks between the lower blacks and the upper blacks with what's bougie, and who's not bougie.
Okay,
I don't separate the old school and the new school from the blacks, the whites, the Latinos, or anybody. I am the most inclusive candidate in this entire election, and I know that.
And he will take this white boy with him anywhere he goes.
Oh yeah,
because I've already found that out.
Redneck. But I've also gotten questions about the whole thing that was brought up about the Black and Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Why do we need that if you're seeing all of these as one and not? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why do we need a whole separate one? Why can't we just include it all in one chamber of commerce?
Yes, this is really getting lit. There's 3 people asking the same question.
Yes.
I don't know where in the world this whole thing, and that's why I want to, and I'm gonna say it again.
It was all in the wording, is what started it.
But I'm gonna take this opportunity to educate, and now you're hearing Oz, and you're hearing it straight from Oz, and let's do like they do at the cemetery. Let's bury this thing, and let's say ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Had you listened to Oz, you'd have still been with us.
Oh my God!
Hey,
you're a poet, and you didn't know it.
I've got one even better than that.
So here it is.
Hold on, wait, I got to rhyme with that one. I do this at funerals. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. That poor bastard's dead, so now he can't F with us.
Wow.
Oh, I like Oz is better.
I know, but mine was just funny and gangster like that.
So
all right, Oz, come on.
So here it is.
Right.
Here it is.
And you're on camera, Mike, by the way.
Oh, I thought I wasn't on camera. I haven't been on camera all morning. Sorry.
All right, come on, Oz. I just had to lighten the mood a
Like
little
you're
bit.
going to actually behave now?
Well, I mean, I'm an afterthought for this whole thing. So.
Yeah, your dad said that once. Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Why do you say go ahead? He just called you Mike.
I messed up.
Are you offended?
I did not call him a fat, worthless white man.
God, I'm not fat.
No, you're fluffy, right?
You're
No, I just had to lighten the mood a little bit. We got too
pleasant.
serious with the whole.
Well, I mean, there is racial divide. Come
Yeah,
on.
but the way it was said, it didn't sound as a question. So I'm like, oh my God, where is this going?
Well, I was opening it up for Oz to talk about transparency.
Okay.
Because I knew.
Well, he's so transparent that he walked in the lines and did this.
Let me be honest with you and just get this on out. And now you really push my button to a whole different level.
Good.
Let me say this. There is no damn place in Rockdale County for divisive leadership. I will not be a part of any kind of divisive leadership between race lines, religion lines, sex and gender lines. That's not my place. Again, I'm Oz Nesbit. I'm not God. My job is to love on this whole community and to represent this entire community. When people inside our community feel excluded, my job as the chairman is to help them feel included and to embrace them and to usher them down the aisles of Rockdale County so they'll feel like they are an intimate part of this community.
Right.
Now, listen, when we get into playing favorites, when we get into being pick and choosy from a leadership standpoint about who we're going to represent, there is the day that we ought to be handing ourselves a pink slip. My grandmother say a pink slip.
So
we don't need divisive leadership in our community. I will not support that.
And that's where this is going. I've got somebody taunting me saying, I want to see you get pissed like you did about that. I was and still am very pissed off that there was a Chamber of Commerce that was trying to get created that called themselves the Black and Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, because we the people is not we the black folks and we the white folks. And I get pissed about that. When I did the basketball game with you, there was 5 of us white people there at first. Did you see me say, I'm loading my speakers up because there ain't but 5 white folks here? It pisses me off when people try to use words to separate. It should be the second-hand Chamber of Commerce if we're not good enough for the first one, but we don't need to just make a disclaimer that says you can only be black and you can only be Hispanic. That's stupid.
Well, let me tell you what's never going to go away. Let's just...
we know division. Let's
lay all the dead cats on the table like we say in the police bill. Let's put all the dead cats on the table and let's see it the way it is. What's never going away in America is the conversation about race and equality. That ain't going no damn where. But what we can do in our community, we can dispel out ignorance, because guess what there is? There are ignorant black folk, ignorant white folk, ignorant Asians, ignorant Hispanics.
Yes.
They're ignorant people, period. Yes. And they ain't going nowhere.
Like the dick that runs the Chamber of Commerce.
So
dick.
So what we have to do.
Hey, he got smart with me on the phone. He's a dick.
So let me educate your audience.
And Oz is not saying that. I'm saying it.
Scotty, let me educate your audience. What we have to do is band together as a community. We have to band together as a community. And we have to stamp out ignorance. And we have to teach etiquette and intelligence. And we have to enforce and encourage people to use common sense.
Yes.
Common sense, Stephanie, is something you cannot teach. It has to be inherited, but you have to be around people who have it in order to inherit it.
Yes.
Now, on this whole thing about this Chamber of Commerce foolishness, let me just tell it like it is. It was a piss poor use of words to describe the gathering of people that were trying to come together. And because we constantly have people sitting on the sensitive, delicate racial surface, always looking for some kind of racial rah-rah, they took it and they ran with it.
I had so many people calling me pissed off about it. And I'm talking business owners.
Because there are people who wake up in America every day to march, to rally, and just to be seen and to grandstand, but they don't want no result.
Yeah, but business owners have a right to say, why should there be a Chamber of Commerce that says only go to the blacks and only go to the Hispanics and not go to the whites? Scotty, and they have that reason to ask that question.
Scotty.
I mean, you might see it different, but they got that right.
I'm on something here, and you, when I'm giving your audience this education, don't interrupt this damn
go
lesson.
ahead.
I'm gonna call your mama. Okay,
Damn.
don't interrupt this lesson. I'm gonna put you in the corner. I'm gonna send you to detention, young man, because I'm teaching this class and I want people to get it.
I'm gonna hit that mute button. Keep going. But that's what it was all about. Is everybody was all the people that belong to the white one, if you want to call it that.
Listen, the more you talk about it, the more fuel you give it.
Oh, I agree. That's one reason I backed off.
Listen, I dispelled the foolishness because I don't want to continue to talk about it and repeat it and add fuel to the fire.
Right. That's right.
Keep this in mind. There are people who wake up every day and their jobs are to divide communities,
right?
To create havoc in communities.
Right.
They're black, they're white, they're Hispanic, they're Asian, they're Latino, they're blue people, they're pink people, and they're folks who this is what their mission is in life. I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it in the government, and I'm not going to have it in this community. And every time I see it, I'm going to knock the hell out of it.
And look, hold on. And just to continue that, I actually called, and not in an investigating sort of way, but just to ask questions with the Chamber of Commerce guy. And I brought up what was happening and what the questions were.
The chances are he probably didn't even know anything about that.
He was he talked down to me so bad, is why I call him a dick. And then he tried to call Oz to try to say that I was blaming Oz for this when that's not the fact. So I told Oz, I said,
didn't call me.
The fact that he's trying to twist it.
And he couldn't have tried to call me because guess what? He, like so many other Rockdale Canians, has Oz's cell number. So no one tries to call Oz. They have the number. And the number is, by the way, 770-624-9446. That's the number that I've given out. That's the number to this phone that I'm holding up right here. So no one has a difficult time reaching Oz Nesbit.
But my logic is if he talked down to me like that, then how many other has he talked down to? How many others? And now I see Alex. Go ahead and pat yourself on the back. Give your little butt a rub too. Now I see why there had to be a second Commerce, because I see how I was treated by just asking questions. All right, go on to the next
I
one.
was going to say, so you're saying that we didn't need that one, or that was just, I was asked the question as far as we didn't need the Black Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. You weren't.
He basically said it was poor wording.
Okay, so your name was associated with it.
Well, here's the thing. I've created a brand in Rockdale County, and I'm proud of that brand. But every now and then, there are some people who like to impersonate that brand, just like the jackass that was locked up by Sheriff Levitt, who used his name the other night and conning people out of money here in this county. When people find a significant name or a brand, they will often try to duplicate that name or that brand. And they'll tag on to you in an effort to make people, to give themselves more oomph or more clout or more steam. I'm with Oz Nesbit. I'm associated with Commissioner Oz Nesbit. And you will have people to do that from time to time. Here's my answer to the question about the need for additional Chamber of Commerce in this community. I don't think there's a need for a new one. I don't think this community is that big. I feel like what we need to make sure is that the Chamber of Commerce, the Board of Commissioners, the City Council office, the Mayor's office, the Board of Education, all of these entities are being effective and they are properly serving the people of our community. Now, most of the people who were raising hell about the misuse of the wording, they're not a member of the current Chamber of Commerce.
The ones that called me did.
They very few of them participate there. And if you participate there and you're not getting out of it what you think your return on your investment, as my friend Rogers would say, if you're not getting your return on your investment, then what you need to do is speak up and speak out to that party
that's what I said. If you belong to it, you have a right to voice your opinion.
Or perhaps you need to create a more effective organization that will give you and the community a better level of service. So I think people got caught up in one damn word. Black.
Well, I think the two is a lot of the business owners were saying, I'm paying to belong to this one, and these guys are kind of not treating us right. And now you have a division where people are of course, the first thing they see is the name of it, and then they go, wait, if I'm paying these cats, these other people are just going to not send people to my business because I'm not falling under their names of who they are claiming they are.
Right.
That's where the whole division came from. If you claim that you are Black and Hispanic chamber, then that's how they saw it, that you were only the Black and the Hispanic.
Let me say this to you, sir. I wasn't on the phone or wasn't in the presence of you and the gentleman from the Chamber of Commerce. So
exactly. So you don't, right.
So I don't know. But here's what I will say. If you feel like he talked down to you, then just imagine what some of the other people may have felt like.
That's my point. If you did that to me,
if you truly felt that way, I'm not saying he did.
Yes, because let's be clear. Let's be clear. We're live and it is being recorded. Oz was not present for the phone call. Oz only knows secondhand information.
If that's your feeling,
but I am allowed to speak my feelings.
That's your feeling. But let me say this.
So how do we change that?
Well, that's what I'm.
People have to join and have a voice.
No, what we got to know what that she's talking about.
Yeah.
When she said, "How does she change?" What that are you talking about? What change are you talking about?
Number one, the way he treats people, and number two, if he treats people like that constantly,
I thought that was get rid of you were talking about. Let's talk about that. So, first of all,
and is that something you could do as chairman?
The number one way you change the level of customer service that you receive from a person that's in a customer service role is you bring to their attention, you make them aware of your discomfort or your dissatisfaction with the level of service, goods, or products, or the way that you've been treated or handled pertaining to a particular situation or service that you were trying to receive, or in that case, information you were trying to gather. If you go to a restaurant and you order boneless wings and they bring you bone-in wings, it is your responsibility as the customer to bring to the waiter or wait staff attention that I ordered boneless. The way you bring that to their attention makes all the difference, because I will continue to say attitude is everything. If the human who works as a waitress brings me bone-in wings, what I need to do is bring to her attention, his or her attention, that, ma'am or sir, I requested boneless. My tone, my attitude, my approach will determine my response or of their response to what I'm bringing to their attention. So what I'm really saying is, if you had a bad encounter with somebody, you need to make them know about it. You need to make them aware of it. You need to fill out the comment card. And fill out the comment card is let your voice being known. Sometimes if there's an authority or person that doesn't have a boss over them, you need to be direct. And watch this. You need to be bold. And that's what Rockdale County needs. Bold and courageous leadership. You need to be bold enough to say, you know what? I didn't like the way you just talked to me. I don't like the tone of your voice. I don't like the nature in which you're bringing me this information. Or I feel as if I'm some child being ridiculed or being belittled or being scorned or being chastised. Say that to the person. I feel like you have to have enough balls and be bold enough to be the adult or the person that you are to bring this to the person's attention. Now, I don't have a passive voice at all. I don't. And there ain't nothing I can do about it. What I can do, I know how to control the influx of my tone, bringing it up and bringing it down based upon the conversations that I'm in or type of speech that I'm giving, depending on where I am and what I'm involved in. However, when I give you information, I'm not going to give it to you like you a 3-year-old, honey, and baby sugar pie. I'm not going to give it to you that way, honey. I'm going to tell you the facts. I'm going to give it to you straight up, direct, and clear, and very direct.
And me and Oz had this conversation. There's a difference of direct and offensive.
There are 3 types of communication: passive, assertive, and aggressive. I'm going to give it to you 9.5 times out of 10 in a very assertive kind of way. Right. I'm going to say what I mean, and I'm going to mean what I say.
Yes.
And that's my style. If you're coming into my office looking for me to side with you, I don't care what you look like or who you are. you may as well go in a different direction. If you coming in my office looking for answers and for the real truth, stop by any day, because I'm gonna lay it on you, and I don't give a flying flip what you look like.
Well, that's good, because if I came in your office, you'd be like, "Get out!" But that's different.
But you would come in covered in Vaseline and Cheetos. There's a difference.
And a lawn chair, because I was going to get naked.
Well, you would stay a while.
All right,
Mike's on vacation.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you now, the office that I'm gonna be in charge of, he wouldn't even make it to me.
You're going to have 5 people.
Damn,
Hey, you
man.
can't have a woman at the front desk, because he would try to sex her up before he ever got in the door.
That's what the Cheetos are for.
Well, if I have a woman at the front desk, guess what? She's gonna be a bad.
She's going to have a stun gun for Mike.
I would.
Keep going. I may have to start the video
A
for
woman that
live.
can handle it, baby.
We have live video on Facebook going, everybody. If you want to go check it out, I finally got it running correctly. I will be starting it over because it only lets us go 30 minutes. Turn it over to you, Mike. Go for it.
All right, look, this is something that we've got it like 3 or 4 different ways, but the easiest way to do it is, what do you see as the most pressing issue facing Rockdale County? And when you get in office, how are you going to address it? Number one priority, first thing you're going to do.
My number one priority is our human resources department.
Okay.
I've already told you that there's going to be an extreme makeover under my leadership in the board of commissioners office.
Now, is there a director or a lead for human resources?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And that person reports directly to the county chairperson.
Okay.
That will be one of the number one priorities. Code enforcement is on that top 5 list.
Right. What is your top 5?
My number one priority that I'm campaigning on is public safety.
Okay.
And to make sure that we have the right kind of relationship between the commissioner's office and the sheriff's office.
Okay.
I don't think that the chairman should be in a tug of war or a fight or a contest without a local sheriff. I think they should be in concert and in harmony. They should have a good relationship, a working relationship.
Who are you endorsing for sheriff?
I need to understand the needs of the sheriff, and I'm not endorsing anybody.
Okay.
The only person I'm endorsing, watch this, is Oz Nesbit.
But you can't run for sheriff.
I'm not running for the office of sheriff. Law enforcement is the history and the heritage and the past of my life.
Right.
The present day is serving the people of Rockdale, and I'm using my law enforcement experience to help me serve the people in a greater capacity as your chairman.
Who's your pick for sheriff?
I'm not endorsing anybody other than Oz Nesbit, and that's okay. He can be good. He can be good, but I'm great because guess what, baby? This is not my first rodeo.
I know it ain't mine either. That's what I'm saying.
So
Come on, you got to have somebody.
So that was your number 2 way of trying to get my endorsement. Try it in the 3rd way and watch this answer.
So who do you think should be the next sheriff?
I tell you, the best person to lead this county, when you talk about building a relationship with law enforcement, the best chairman is Oz Nesbit. That would be the best person to have, making sure that whatever is going on at the sheriff's office, it is done, and it's done the most efficient way to take care of the people of Rockdale County. I'm going to always be supportive of the sheriff of this county, whether it's Bozo the Clown or whether it's Jumbo the Elephant.
Who would be your most favorite person to work with at the sheriff's office?
Now, number 2.
Well, let me answer that one. My most favorite person to work with at the sheriff department is that person that has a world-class attitude to move this county in a world-class direction.
All right, number 2. You said you had a top 5. Number 2, what you got?
Number 2, I told you
code enforcement?
No.
Okay.
Number 1 was public safety.
Yes, sir.
Number 2 is code enforcement.
Code enforcement. All right. Now, I think we talked about that a little bit earlier, so I'm not going to beat that dead horse. So,
and I also told you
number
that
3.
Human resources.
Okay. Now, are you going to jump into that pool, or are you going to light a fire under the department head?
There's going to be an extreme makeover. Now, you know what an extreme makeover means, doesn't it?
Yeah, we've been trying to get Stephanie.
We've been trying to get him to do it.
Trying to get Stephanie to do one.
Hey, I'm fixing to do an extreme makeover.
When I say an extreme makeover, I'm talking about first of all, let's define the word extreme. What does that mean, Denise?
Totally opposite than what it is now.
Thank you. What does makeover mean? I know what does makeover mean?
I don't know. I haven't had one.
Yeah, me losing 60 pounds.
Okay, so there's your answer.
Well, okay, but Oswald, you're being so general about this. Come on. You got to give me something on the human resource. Are you going to say, hey, look,
okay,
I'm doing this, Oz is doing this, or are you going to say, department head,
let me give you what you want. Let me give you what you want.
Yeah, give it to me.
Watch out.
Oh, I've had this before.
Specifically in the human resources department.
Yes, sir.
Number one, I think now that we're living in 2016.
Every day.
And we have technology at our fingertips.
Yes, we do.
There ought to be an app for applicants to be able to press an app on their cell phone and be able to apply for any opportunity in local government. There ought to be a timely response, a reasonable and timely response to let you know that your application has made it to the appropriate place and that we will get back to you in a reasonable and timely amount of time. Also, there should always be, because I take nothing and nobody for granted, a hard copy application process for that person who just, guess what, folks, don't happen to have a PC at home.
Right.
Every house in Rockdale County does not have a personal computer.
Right.
So we should have a station set up inside of the human resource office where you can access 3 to 5 working computers that you can make application on.
So everybody that knows how a library has it, you should have that as well.
In addition, you should have hard copies because everybody's learning curve is on different levels. So I don't want to discriminate against anybody. And I want to make sure that we are making ourselves accessible to everybody so that when we call ourselves an equal opportunity employer, we are just that. Right. And it's not a cliche of something we're saying.
Right.
Next question.
Well, and I would like to bring that up too. And when you because you brought up computers, because for me, I'm dyslexic. So I know that I've had a couple of things that I've needed to do.
So you're gonna need a tutor.
Well, for instance, I've been asked to come down to the sheriff's department and fill out this huge thing. And I said, well, can't somebody just take my statement? Well, no, you got to fill it out. I'm dyslexic. If you think I'm going to write it and you're going to be able to legibly understand it, it's going to be a pain. I figure that's a disability. I have a learning disability. It's the same philosophy that we need to start understanding. And I'm not looking and pointing fingers at the sheriff's department. I'm talking about county in general. We have to start understanding that there's a lot of people out there that have learning disabilities that can still function and do their job. So if you provide, like you said, the computer and a way for somebody to come in and be able to do the application.
A working computer.
Mind you.
The argument could be, we have computers.
Yeah.
A working computers.
I think you having a room at that building where somebody could come in and do that would be superb. I think it's excellent.
But not just the basic things that I've given you. The answer his question in totality is the fact that we need leadership. We have to have leadership. We have to be able to recruit the right kind of talent into our community to do the job and take us to what I keep talking about, a world-class community. You can't do that by hiring somebody's cousin, brother, nephew, friend, and cousin, and they don't have the skill set to be able to efficiently and effectively get the job done. I can't hire you because I like you. I need to hire you because you can get the job done. I can't hire you because you Susie's nephew, a cousin, a friend. I need to hire you because you can get the job done. So those things, nepotism and a whole lot of other things that will help us become, when we get rid of those things and when we properly address those issues, it will help us become that world-class community. It's a mindset. It's a change of culture. So the change of culture is not just external with the community, but it's internal with the government.
Right.
Yeah. Really quick, what time do you have until so we know how many more questions?
Yeah, we're 10:19.
I'm going to be here until y'all shut it down.
All right.
Well, okay. Now
I'm yours.
On its top 5.
It's like Valentine's Day, baby. I'm yours.
Hey, before you jump onto that, I just had a police officer with Rockdale who said, I will fill out whatever form you need to fill out if it takes care of having the person reprimanded for what they did to you.
Yeah, there you go.
So
that's awesome.
Do what?
Who and what they're
Remember the
about.
female I got on video that lied to her supervisor, said that I was banging on her car window, and in fact on video you can see I clearly did not. I just had a Rockdale police officer say, I will fill out your paperwork if you will go down there and turn it in, because Scott Freeman, before he left, even brought up the fact that if this lady does not have the training that she should not be in that position.
And I would like to have an opportunity with that officer as well. There's two. He had said top 5, so I just wanted to get number 4 and number 5. They don't need a discussion, but Oz, I've got public safety, code enforcement, human resources, and that app. I think is a beautiful idea because it's cheap too.
There's nothing. $99 will make you an app.
Yeah. So that's a do. That's
99.
So what
200 will get you 2 apps.
Yeah, but I also got
one for each kind of phone.
I also got the only fix is working computers, and that was kind of a BS answer.
Say that again now.
That the only fix is working computers, and I kind of got this kind of giving BS answers.
Well, I hate to hear that person hadn't been paying attention, because the number one thing I said I do in HR is have an extreme makeover. Now, if anyone knows the definition of the word extreme and they can pair it up with the word makeover, they clearly understand what I'm going to do. If you're expecting me to hand out all of the details of what I'm going to do once I'm in office, that really won't happen on the campaign trail, and it's certainly not going to happen on the air this morning with Just for Fun Radio. But I can tell you this: once I'm the chairman, I'm going to make it right in our human resources department as it relates to our current county employees and anybody seeking opportunities with Rockdale County. I'm going to make sure that we have an efficient operation that is catering to our number one resource, which is our people. If you expected me to tell you the who, what, when, and where, I'm not doing that. I'm in a campaign. It's election season. So I'm not going to give anybody impression that this, that, or the other going to happen. But if I tell you, like I've just said, it's going to be an extreme makeover. But look at it this way. By electing me as your chairman, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be an extreme makeover.
Okay, but there's going to be a ton of people that are going to expect you to follow through, and because you're promising that, and it's not. I mean, it's
he can only do what's in his power.
No. The day that they'll be able to see it won't be today or tomorrow. We first got to have an election on May 24th. Then I got to take office on January 1 of 2017. And then they got to pay attention to what's going on. And then they can see, oh, Oz is doing what he said. So if they're expecting me to make it happen right now today, well, first of all, folks, let's get elected first.
That's right.
Then it will happen.
Now, here's a question.
And then hold me accountable.
Here's a question.
Hold me accountable.
It's been topping a lot of the questions, and that is, if elected, are you going to remain this caliber of person that you are? Are you going to remain, let me make sure I word this right. Are you going to remain sociable and very visible, unlike the chairman now?
Well, this is who I've always been. It's in my personality. It is Oz. I am Oz. I'm going to not stop being Oz. What will happen is I'll have a different level of schedule and mode of operation because I am the chairman of the county. But in terms of me being interactive, in terms of me being accessible and out on the ground with the people in the community, no, that won't change. But yes, my duties on a day-to-day basis will change. I'm not going to sit here and speak in an unintelligent way as if I don't understand that as the chief ambassador and the primary manager of the county, I'm going to be doing some things differently. Will I still be able to visit Just for Fun Radio? Of course I will.
Not on Tuesdays, though. You'll be in your meetings on Tuesdays.
Exactly. Will I still be able to give away the turkeys and the hams and to do the street ball tournaments? I will be able to do that at a greater capacity from that level. Absolutely. So, of course, will you be able to still have a candid conversation with Oz?
Still have your phone number.
Yes, you will. Absolutely. So, those types of personal and intimate opportunities and interaction with the people in the community, they won't change. Yes, I'll have a more defined schedule, and I'll ask you to respect that schedule and be a part of it. But more importantly, I'm asking you to be present, to show up, and to stay involved with what's going on so we can have that ongoing relationship like we've had for the past 8 years.
I just wanted to make sure I covered what that guy was asking.
I think that's a good question.
It's a great question.
It's a very valid question.
I think a lot of people have thought, okay, he's very visual right now, and everybody's seeing Oz everywhere. But when he becomes the guy, is he going to be that visual, unlike the other situation? So I wanted to make sure I was very clear in how I was trying to word it for the gentleman that asked it too.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that question because I think it's important that people know. And here, let me say this about this. I didn't just show up at your church. your child's school. I didn't just start giving out hams. I didn't just start giving out turkeys. We didn't just start doing the fish fry or the midnight barbecue. We didn't just start doing the pink pooch parade.
Right.
We didn't just start loving on Rockdale
Yeah, this
County.
has been happening.
I've been doing this since I've been in office. Now watch this. It's campaign season. Watch what's going to happen out there now. Watch who shows up at your church. Watch who comes down your neighborhood now. And you've never seen them before. You've never heard of them. You don't even know their name. You didn't know they exist. But they're going to pop up and show up on the scene asking you to vote for them. But I want you to ask them, where have you been?
Well, I got a real funny story, and I'm going to make it quick and turn it over real quick. But I was having a discussion with somebody the other day when they said the tax commissioner was running for office. And when it was brought up who the tax commissioner was, I said, here's a really funny story. So I got in an argument with a guy over the phone who told me he was the tax commissioner. I was at Horizons Motorsport, standing in the parking lot. They kept watching me walk back and forth for over an hour, yelling with this guy over the phone who said he was the tax commissioner. You know what I found very funny is when I went to buy the tags for my new bike that I bought, I found out the tax commissioner was black. The guy that told me he was the tax commissioner and was yelling at me over the phone is white, which means we had a guy that works for the tax commissioner who misrepresented who he was in his position and yelled at me over the phone. And he's not even the effing tax commissioner. Imagine that. And now this guy wants to be elected. So if you can't control the white boy that works for you, how are you going to control our town? Message. Next question.
Ding, 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 ding.
And that's from personal experience. Please take me to court. You'll make me famous.
Okay, before Mike has a conniption fit, can you finish number 4 and number 5?
Give me number 4 and number 5 again, my friend.
No, I'm asking. You have the public safety, code enforcement, human resources. What's number 4? And you said top 5.
Parks and recreation. We have to make. Let me say this: Johnson Park on Johnson Road, as you all know, is our number 1 facility for parks and recreation in our county. The county has had a major demographical shift in our community in terms of people and the kind of people. So we got to cater to a whole different culture of people in our community. We have outgrown just having one major park and recreation facility such as Johnson Park, but not just the park itself. The programs that we have and offer, we have to offer program. I'm big when it comes to arts and culture, entertainment and drama. There's nothing more than a mom going to see their child in the school play.
Oh, yeah.
Or the church play on Easter, or hearing that kid recite that poem on Easter morning at church. Arts and culture and entertainment. These are the things that define and discover the hidden talents and gifts in our young people. But let's not just stop with the young people. There's adults who like to play basketball. But why does you have to wait hours and hours to get on the basketball court? Because the basketball court, we only have a few or they're limited. Why don't we have a nice aquatic center? Since we have major swim teams in our community, why don't we have a really nice aquatic center here in Rockdale County? But there's so many different ways to fund this stuff for the person that says, how are you going to pay for it? There's so many different ways of funding this through public and private partnerships. I know how to get that done. I know how to build that. But also I know this, Denise, the people in the county, Mike, Stephanie, they will pay for what they want.
Yes.
When you put it out there the right way, and you put before the people what the plan is, and they see what the goal is, the long-term goal, they will make an investment into that. But we first have to structure it the right way. So I'm very big on parks and recreation in terms of how we need to enhance our parks and recreation.
Right. This is from a police officer. There is a Black Shoals Park with a lot of land that is there that could or can be developed into something more.
And when I talk about developing our parks and recreation, that deputy is absolutely right. There are so many different structures and buildings and pavilions and different things that we can do in our existing spaces throughout the county that already exist that don't cost a whole lot of money.
Well, let's look at Pine Log just sitting there.
Before I lose my thought.
Go ahead.
But before I lose my thought, let me say this to you. when we enhance parks and recreation, we help reduce crime.
Exactly.
Well, we're
Yeah,
giving our
that's what
kids
I was
something to do. Look
thinking.
at the basketball court. That's the old 1970 basketball court that's still sitting there. It's not even being used, and there's a building that's what would the word that we would use to tap, like whatever. It's falling apart. Let's just word it this way. It's rotten. It's falling apart. Things are just falling off of it.
It's gone, Scotty.
It is gone now. Thank God. Well, I haven't been there since last summer. I just gave up on it.
Let me give credit where credit is due, since we're in the mode of giving credit. Our coroner, the Honorable George Levitt Jr., was the one that planted the seed in my ear 2 years ago about transforming the tennis courts over at Pine Log Park into basketball courts that you and I see
Well,
today.
because Parker Road has tennis courts.
Let me finish doing
but I just want to point that out for people. Pine Log has tennis courts, but they're huge tennis venues on Parker. So it's not that we're going to take away tennis courts for people, because there already is other facilities. I just wanted to be clear with that, because I don't want anybody to think that we're taking away from one and not supplying others.
So we still have tennis courts over there on Pine Log as well. But we've taken 2 of the old tennis courts and we've converted those into really nice basketball courts that give the young people more opportunities where they don't have to sit around and wait to use that old 1970 something basketball court that is still there. A part of my goal and vision is to also enhance that one as well, and also create a kiddie court for the little kids to play basketball on, where they don't have to get trampled on by the big kids or have to be in an argument as to who's going to play what at what time.
I got here first.
Right. Those kinds of things don't need to be tolerated, because believing in the world that we live in today, those things lead to other issues,
right.
and that links up to crime or criminal activity.
Right.
And we don't need that.
I agree.
Those are the kinds of things when I talk about enhancing parks and recreation. Was that number 4 or number 5?
And before we leave, also the water part of it, Lenore Church has a great water slide and everything for the kids. A lot of people, when we posted, probably about a year ago, Oz put out what does people want, and there was tons and tons of us from Rockdale that were saying the water park, and then somebody else is saying, but who's going to pay for it? Well, what you don't realize is during the summer months, all these families that are in Rockdale are driving down Georgia 20 into Gwinnett County to pay $5 a person to be able to, I don't know the exact amount. I just know my wife gave me an idea of what they were having to pay to use Lenore Park. Now, that's revenue that we're now giving to another county that we could be doing here.
Right.
And if we have something here,
part of my vision,
that means people would leave our water park, grab something to eat, and go back to the water park.
So when I talk about enhancing parks and recreation, as I did last summer, we talked about, I put a post out on Facebook saying, what would you like to see? And you're absolutely right, Denise. That was the number one question and response that came back. People wanted to see a water park. And they talked about the high price of what they're paying to drive out of our county into another county and pay over there.
Pay somebody else.
And we can keep that revenue right here inside of Rockdale County. But you have to have vision and leadership to get it done.
That's right.
And for the past 8 years, we've had talking, but no walking.
Right. All right. So was there another part? I know I got off on the other part.
Number 5.
Number five. And let me say this. I'm not giving these to you in no particular order other than my top priority being public safety. So these are not in no particular order, but these are on my list. So number 5 is economic development. And remember, I said to you earlier, when I say economic development, it means getting people back to work, which is why 3 years ago, I started a community initiative called Ready to Work Rockdale. There's a 6.9% unemployment rate here in Rockdale County. And we as community leaders can play and do our part in helping local residents get back to work.
Right. And I just got somebody else typing in big capital letters a friggin' dog part, because I do remember I tried to help last year start that back. And there was a lot of people that brought up the fact that the county didn't want to pay for the land. Well, then we found somebody that was willing to donate the land. And then it was nobody wanted to pay for the landscaping. And we found somebody that said they would donate the landscaping. So
it's always an excuse.
I had 3 exploratory meetings in Rockdale County on the subject of a dog park. I had a ton of people to come out. I had more people who came out in favor of it,
Mhm.
but I had more people who spoke up against it that went to the mic. The people who were in favor of it, they were just too scared to go to the mic because they didn't want to get scrutinized and ostracized by their fellow peers in the community. So I had a lot of people who came out saying, yes, I love a dog park. But when it was time to go to the mic and stand firm on it, what do they put their tail between their legs.
Sorry.
Message.
Dog, tail between the legs. Had to go there. All right, next.
Okay, so should any part of the county budget be shielded from cuts? And if so, which area?
I don't think when you're looking at a budget and you're trying to run a big corporation like a county, no one is exempt. No department is exempt from cuts. And as much as I advocate for public safety being my top priority, even the sheriff's office in certain areas at certain times may have to experience some kind of cuts, may have to. So no one or no department is exempt from cutting. I think we have to really think about what our priorities are in accounting. From a leadership standpoint, from where I sit, I'm going to look at the big picture. I'm going to look at what's most important. And I'll tell you, public safety will be one of the last things I would ever even think of considering cutting.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, so to go with that.
So no one is exempt from cuts.
Right. So to go with that, top 3 budget proposals for your first term.
Well, I think in order to do that, we got to get through this year, 2016, and really the midpoint. Number one, I want to see what the millage rate is going to look like, the tax collection is going to look like, and I don't know what that's going to look like until about mid-year. The summer, usually in July, the tax commissioner gives us a report of how things stand in terms of last year's tax collections. We have to take that money and see how much funding we have as we plan and prepare to look for the upcoming year. So you cannot cut a budget that you don't have in front of you. What you can do is make plans in preparation based upon the vision you have for the county. Then once you really see what the money looks like, you can go from there and decide, okay, what's going to get here? It's like laying out your monthly bills. Mm-hmm. Each month, you know all the people who you got to pay.
Yeah.
But once you get the money in front of you, you determine who gets paid.
Yeah, who's more important.
And then you also make a decision as who you cut and how you cut and where the cuts are.
Okay, so say you have enough for 3. Which 3? Where are those 3 proposals going?
Well, that's a very hypothetical, but I'm going to play with it. I'm going to work with it. So number one, always public safety. Okay. The number one would always be public safety.
Okay.
Okay. The other area, because we have to have roads and bridges and be able to make our way through our county, you have to take care of transportation in our community.
Correct.
That's clear. The other area would probably be in the area of quality of life, which impacts these areas. Code enforcement, parks and recreation, and senior services. So hear what I said. Public safety, number 1. Transportation, number 2. And then the third one, since you're giving me 3 to work with, the third one would be quality of life. And within quality of life, I include parks and recreation, I include code enforcement, and I include senior services. And that's just on the surface there. If I'm only given 3 areas that I can make a decision. So public safety would not be the area that I would cut at all.
And also, y'all, we're at 10:39.
The last thing
we're gonna be wrapping this thing up soon. Start choosing some of the. I know some of the other people will probably feel left out if we don't cover some of their email questions.
Callers to call in.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing. We've not had one person call in.
Maybe we're asking all the right questions.
Well, I think it's also they might be scared to shut their. I think they're scared to shut their app off to miss whatever's being said in order to call.
Right.
Nobody wants to miss out. So yeah, anybody that would like to find some more questions, and I know we don't want to leave everybody out. And then I got And of course, I feel like I'm jumping into this one because it's from a few minutes ago. We're now at 10:39, and this question came in at 10:34. It said, "Don't forget the free park/water park in Millstead."
It's a splash park. It's not a water park. It's a splash park, and it was designed exclusively, to tell you the truth, for that particular community. Now we can put.
And you know what's funny? You know how many people from Covey can go to that?
We can put splash parks throughout different communities inside the county. That's a small splash park. It's not a water park for the whole county. It's a splash park for Millstead. But you're right, Scotty. People inside and outside from other parts of the county come into Millstead and use that. But let me talk about this real quick.
And I'm not trying to be a dick.
One of the things that I think we also need to consider in terms of parks and recreation, there's a lot of people who like archery here in the county.
You know, my brother has a shop.
You talk about equestrian, using the horse park, and all of the stuff that goes on out there. And also, what about golf? We're only an hour and a half from Augusta, Georgia, the biggest golf city in the world, where the Masters Golf Tournament takes place the first week in April every year.
Where somebody got to go and I didn't.
We should have a more diverse parks and recreation program. Archery, equestrian, golf, swim.
Can you and I put a golf tournament together for the horse park area?
They're coming after you, Mike.
A just for fun and Oz Nesbit golf tournament for
the horse
for
park
charity.
ain't got nothing to do with whether we can put it together.
It's not. No,
the
it's
answer
not
is
the horse
yes,
park,
we can put it together.
The area. I just thought about that.
Yeah,
we should do that.
We can do that. Yeah.
Okay, Steph.
I just have a real quick question, and this is from my own personal question.
No, they are not going to open up a redneck drinking place somewhere. I think
no.
Hank and Jerry's already exist.
No, and because this is something that's very dear to my heart. As you know, I have a handicapped child. There is a big
How big is it?
Group of handicapped children here in Rockdale County.
As they graduate high school, are you going to try to set up anything that they can do after they graduate high school, like like the social services, senior services, like what you were talking?
Stephanie, you're absolutely right. There is a big community of developmental challenge people in our community, and I have to give credit to Mr. Jeff Beach and the Lighthouse Foundation. There are multiple 501c3 nonprofit organizations in our county, like the Lighthouse Village, our friends over off on Davis Road, right there off of Parker Road, who cater to the needs, the wants, and the development of those who are challenged with development disorders or any type of handicap that keep them out of the mainstream of society. These organizations already exist. And one of the things I'm in conversation with right now with Jeff Beach and the Beach Foundation is to create an opportunity where we have all, or let me say it this way, as many of the local nonprofits operating up under one roof in a resource center, so that people have any local needs in our community, mental, developmental, assistance with this, that, or the other, job search, any kind, they can go to a one-stop shop center and get the help and be pointed in the right direction with arrows pointing. You need this, go this way. You need that, go this way. You need this. And it's a one-stop shop here in Rockdale County to help enhance the quality of life in our community. So when young people like your baby graduates from high school, we need to have some type of life transition to allow that person or that young person to be able to transition into society the best they can based upon their particular disorder or whatever the challenge might be. But I do know there are existing organizations that can assist with that right now.
I had a quick question come in real quick because I know we have to shut down. You're currently a commissioner. Why isn't all of this on the table now? You have to be able to work with your other commissioners. If you're not able to work with them now, why should I believe it would be different from when you're a chairman?
I so appreciate that question because, first of all, you have to be in an environment that is conducive to people working together. And that starts with leadership and vision.
Team.
It has to be teamwork makes the dream work. The leadership of our current chairperson right now and his style of leadership just prohibits that from happening. It stops and stifles a cohesive government from going forward the way it needs to be. Nothing can be about me, myself, and I. When I become your chairman, there's no way that I can get things done by myself. I have to respect the talent and skills of the post 1 and the post 2 commissioner and take their wisdom and their experience and their insight and their visions for this county and bring it to a common place so we can come together cohesively to make Rockdale a better place for everybody. I can't have a mentality or an attitude of my way or the highway. That's what I've operated in within the last 8 years. It's been very difficult. It's been tough. There are multiple articles in the Rockdale newspaper, the Rockdale Citizen, and in On Common Ground News about the tension and the difficulty of communication between the commissioners and the current chairman. When you have a Hitler, when you have a king, when you have a my way or by way attitude, a dictatorship type, a tyrant, to say the least, it will make things difficult. I want an all-exclusive leadership board. Although I'm running to be the chairman, I am looking and counting on the post 2 and post 1 commissioner to help us lead and navigate Rockdale from Mayberry to a world-class community.
And one of the first things you need to do is move your meetings to after hours.
And as you
so
know,
that people can show up, because you're talking about these dog owners that want a dog park that don't show up to back everything up. Then how can they if they're working?
You know, Denise, you've listened to me for a long time, and you've heard me talk about the craziness of having a meeting at 10 o'clock in the morning when most people are where? At work.
That, and I get blown away on the fact I'm only given 3 minutes to talk.
I am a big advocate. Well, you're in the radio business now. You do know 3 minutes is a long time.
But what I'm saying is for a dictator to look at me and turn on the time clock and tell me I only have 3 minutes.
So I am a big advocate of having the
freedom of speech, baby.
3 minutes.
Town hall, more town hall meetings, and the evening work session that will allow people who are interested to be involved in their community to come out. So yes, I am in favor of that, and I am in favor of moving our meetings from within those stiff governmental walls and doing some outside the box thinking, going perhaps to a church annex wing, over to a restaurant, over to a school cafeteria or a school gym or Johnson Park or some type of community center, but go to where the people are, bring the information to them.
Right.
Now, let me just say this, because I
don't hide behind a desk.
I don't want anybody to be misled. All during the political and campaign season, not only the candidates are talking these talks, a lot of the citizens who talk the talk, make the noise, are not currently active, are not currently involved, and don't come out and get involved in. But they make a lot of noise, because you know, Scott, a lot of people have what
they sit on that computer.
They have keyboard courage.
That's right.
But
Facebook cowboys.
They will not.
What are you talking about Mike for?
They will not come out.
Well,
and be
I like
heard.
the idea that you're willing to go stand and not sit behind a podium, because we already know there's already been studies that prove that when you sit on an elevated podium, that it gives you a superior look talk down to people. And quite frankly, you put your pants on just like me. The second I get talked down to,
let me go back to something Stephanie was really passionate and very concerned about, that's near and dear to her heart. First of all, I'm not interested in exploiting anybody, especially our mentally or disabled, challenged people. I don't want to exploit anybody, but I am willing to sit at the table, Stephanie, with any nonprofit that will enhance the disabled community in Rockdale County and make sure that every citizen is treated fairly and equally. Right now, we're going through an extreme makeover in Rockdale County to make sure that all of our buildings and facilities are ADA compliant. That is very important. That if you can't roll a freaking wheelchair or you can't get into a bathroom because you are physically challenged, that's a problem.
Right. And it's a law, isn't it? It's a law.
That's discrimination.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to make sure that not only is the government in compliance, but the community is in compliance. So any nonprofit that wants to sit down and talk to me about how we can better enhance this community to make it accessible for all of our residents, including those who are disabled, let this talking begin, baby.
Well, and I want to say this. Mike's going to be leading into a question here in just a second. I've already extended the olive branch once. I'm going to go ahead and say it again. I plan on putting together where we're going to take the bus out. We're going to set up somewhere in a neutral area. Somebody I know that owns a business will,
Scotty, I'm here to tell you the time is now. There's 90 days away from election day.
And we're going to be telling our first call. But we're going to tell every single person to come join us and talk about anything they want to talk about, just for fun.
What do you think about it all?
We're still live. Let's go. What you got?
I think it sounds good, but to me, it's all rhetoric. I mean, there's no way one person can get in charge and say they're going to do X, Y, Z and PDQ and
he's absolutely right. No one person can do that, and that's what I've been saying for the last 8 years. You've got to have a cohesive partnership first with the Board of Commissioners and all three commissioners, as well as the total community and all of the stakeholders in the community. You're absolutely right. No one person can do it. This is not a dictatorship. There's not a king in the county. There has to be a county commissioner who builds relationships with the total community. Absolutely correct.
Yeah, and if you don't have that consortium, then you know, you can have the best ideas and the best intent for the community, and nothing gets changed.
So I'm thinking very positive and believing that we will be able to do that under my leadership as chairman. I believe going forward that through my leadership and the way that I believe in building relationships with people, that we will have that. No, we haven't had it. So I won't get my car parked in the parking space labeled shoulda, coulda, and woulda, because that's what we haven't had. But talking about the future and electing elected officials for the future, we will have it going forward through my leadership, because I believe in building relationships, building partnerships, and I understand that not one person can get anything done by themselves. So I'm positively thinking about the future of Rockdale County, and I say to you once again, my friend, you're right. It takes a village. It takes a total community. It takes the attitude of everybody. And by the way, attitude is everything.
That's right.
Okay, really.
All right, Craig, I hate to rush you, but we're going to try to squeeze in as much as we can in the next 8 minutes. Thank you.
Really quick.
Hey, real fast, I'd like to hear what he has to say about bringing more businesses and job opportunity or job growth into a community that seems to have steered away from the community. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you. Did you catch that?
He must have just tuned in.
Yeah, because I was thinking, he must have
addressed that.
Yes,
at the
that
beginning.
was at the beginning. I'm sorry, Craig. We're not trying to ignore it, but go back and watch YouTube, and please don't take me as being rude. We're just trying to wrap her up. He did discuss all that in the very beginning. That was where we were going.
Yes. Really quick. How will you be different than Richard Oden, and why should we vote for you?
Well, not that I will be different. I am different. I have a different personality. I have a different outlook on life and people. I'm passionate. I'm personable. I'm approachable. I'm willing to listen to people. I'm willing to work with folks. I'm willing to roll up my sleeves and get out there. I understand law enforcement. I've been there. I understand the community because I'm in the community. I'm actively a part of the community. What you can expect is a greater level of service from Oz Nesbit. You can expect order. You can expect respect, vision, discipline, and you can expect me to hold the people that run our government, including myself, accountable. I'm asking you to vote for Oz Nesbit if you want to vote for the future direction of Rockdale County. If you really want to go from a Mayberry mentality to a world-class government community and thinking, then I'm asking you to vote for Rockdale County and Oz Nesbit. I have served the community for 8 years. I've been in the people business for 30 years. 15 of those 30 I spent as a law enforcement officer. I understand parents, children, community. I've built a long relationship with our local clergy. On the 29th of this month, I'm having my 4th annual pastor's table where I bring in the clergy and we talk about community. And with this time, we'll certainly be talking about the future of Rockdale County. If you want someone you can put your hands on, if you want someone that's going to be a champion for the people and the causes in this community, a voice for the disabled, someone who understands that this community should be all inclusive and that you need a chairman who's not divisive and who's going to serve the total community. Someone who will listen, someone that will get us, Denise, from being reactive all the time and learn to be proactive and responsive to the people. Someone that reminds himself and the county employees that we work for the people of Rockdale County. If you're serious about moving this county in the right direction, I'm asking you for your vote. Don't vote for me. Vote for the future of this community by selecting Oz Nesbit. Thank you so much.
All right, Dan, we'll look down to the next 5 minutes. I'm going to turn it over to whoever's next, but I want to say this. Here's the thing. This is a statement. This is not directed as a question, but what makes no sense to me is we have a chairperson, right? We have a person that's supposed to run our town. I am the only local radio station around. I'm at all these events. This gentleman has never wanted to discuss anything with me. He's actually walked past me multiple times. I've already extended the olive branch to say anybody that wants to come be on the show, come be on the show. You got something to say, I want you to come be on the show. The thing that makes no sense to me is if you're supposed to run this county, but you're not wanting to be sociable, you're not wanting to be sociable with me. I'm not Oz's boy. Me and Oz have a great working relationship. We know each other. We don't like go hang out and do dinner together, even though we said we need to one night, but we're both very busy.
Right.
My whole point is this. Why, oh, why have you not come to the local radio station that deals with all the local problems and deals with all the citizens of this county and multiple other counties? Why are you not here to represent us better? That is my question to you. I can only pass judgment on you based on the actions I've seen from you, which is you don't talk to me and you will not talk to me. I can't pass judgment on you. I don't know you as a person, but you've not allowed me to know you as a person either. And if you want to stay secluded like that in a tower somewhere overlooking us, your citizens, then that's not a very personable attitude to have. Mike, up to you, sir.
Well, I know the incumbent there, but who is there anybody else running? Is there?
I've heard tell that our tax commissioner is now throwing his head into the running of it. Sorry, thinking too fast. I was thinking Hadley. Is that his name?
I don't know.
So our tax commissioner, I don't even know the tax commissioner's name. But all I know,
running against you.
All I know is the word is he says he's running, and I've only heard of this gentleman and Odin.
Let me make this clear to you. I'm not running against anybody.
Okay.
I'm running for the office of chairman in Rockdale County. My goal is to brand this community and make this Rockdale County a destination place. I want to give people moving eastbound and westbound on I-20 a reason to pull off at one of our 3 exits, spend money, and do business in Rockdale County. I'm not running against any person. It's not personal. It's business. Therefore, I'm running for the office of chairman. We're going to brand this community. We're going to make this a destination location, and we're going to pull money and revenue off of I-20 and bring people into Conyers, Rockdale County. Absolutely.
And if we do that correctly, then we don't have to raise our property taxes because we'll be making enough revenue off the other people coming into our town, shopping at our local businesses. Our local businesses need to thrive better. They need to thrive more. But that also means we got to clean up our city and our county and start inviting more and more people here. We should be like a little 5 Points.
You've got to give people a reason.
Give them a reason to get off that.
That's why I used the word destination location. Got to give people a reason to come in. I'm Commissioner Oz Nesbit. My number is still and has been 770-624-9446. The best way to reach me is to text me. The best way to reach me is to text me at 770-624-9446.
All right, Mike, you got anything else? We're wrapping it up.
I mean, the only other thing is Oz, I've known you a little over a year now. You've always seemed to be in the limelight. I think that's good. I think you have an explosive, positive attitude, and I think that's what our county needs. Now that I live back in Rockdale County, obviously I'm more involved. And I got to tell you this is I pray that the things that you talk about are what you're going to do, and I'm going to ask everybody in Rockdale County to get off their butts and go vote.
Be part of the change.
Part of it.
You can't expect change if you're not willing to be part of the change.
Or you can't complain about it.
That's right. You can't complain.
So
I get people all day long that question just for fun. I'm like, I run a pirate radio station
Right.
that gives back the freedom of speech to the small people of America, the blue collar workers, the people that make our gears run to keep this fine motor of the United States together. It's the people like us that keep this world moving. And at some point, people have to remember it's the blue collar worker that's keeping this world together. Yes,
I just
ma'am.
got a quick statement, and it goes back to Oz talking about being hands-on and rolling his sleeve up. When we did the street ball competition, everybody had left, and you look out across the field as we're all leaving, and you see Oz here with a trash bag walking around picking up the trash.
Okay, let's just say this. When it came time to clean up, there was a lot of people.
Yeah, there was a lot of people
There was a thunderstorm coming. There was 2 or 3 guys. Even the refs from the game started coming up, helping with the cones. But at the very end, do you know who the last 2 people were standing on that property? Me and this man right here, walking around with trash bags, picking up trash. So for what anybody wants to say, I was with this man right here with trash bags in hand, and we were picking up bottled water, and I ended up leaving. The situation was I only had a moment to get the bus out of where it was, and when I left, this man was still picking up trash.
Yes, all by himself.
So let that record stand for itself. Anybody can say whatever they want, but he ain't too good to pick up trash.
Really,
Okay, we got to wrap her up. We're at 11:01.
really quick
one more.
before we, it's not a question. I have to remind you of Friday, the event at Gravity Craft and Homebrew. It's the Foothills Tap Takeover. There's going to be 4 beers on tap and giveaways. So make sure you're there from 4 to 7 p.m. Gravity Craft and Homebrew.
All right, everybody, this is all recorded on YouTube, can be shared. I've got several of the live Facebooks that have been out there that can be shared. I want to thank Oz for coming in and just being so down to earth with us and just letting all the hits roll in as quick as they were. There will be another one. Election time's coming. I've already said that I'm extending the arm out to say that we will be having a location where the bus will pull up on a Saturday morning. It's going to be me, Military Mike, Alex, these 2 young ladies right here. We're going to be sitting somewhere, and we're going to say, anybody that wants to come talk on a microphone, this is your chance to come talk live right now. If you're running for any office whatsoever and you want to speak to the people of this county, this is your opportunity, because there's no other place in Rockdale that's giving you your free voice other than Just for Fun Radio. So I want to tell everybody
I
thank
want
you.
to open up a chair on The World According to Mike. Just get in touch with me.
Yeah, we have a Tuesday night and a Wednesday night show,
Right.
Mike, that they can come be on.
Wednesday night is The World According to Mike. Tuesday night is Tech Talk. But I mean, Alex is a very intelligent guy, and he can definitely talk the topics. But Oz, you know, I'm all for you, brother. I wish you the best. You know that Just for Fun Radio has been there for you. Look, I would love for you to come on, or I'm going to throw it out there too. I don't know Odin. I've never had any discussion with him.
None of us have.
But we have put it out there numerous times that he can come. Same thing with the sheriff.
Well, when Millstead Park opened, I actually was going to talk to him, and he just walked right past me as I was kind of wanting to talk to him.
Hey,
I mean, no
challenge
personal
him.
feelings towards you, but you are my official, and you should talk to me.
Let me press you all real quick on that.
Okay.
And say this. Chances are he doesn't listen to Just for Fun Radio.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Chances are.
But you know his people are today.
Stay with me here now. Chances are there's no one in his circle that has big enough bridges to tell him that he needs to get a hold of Just for Fun Radio. And once you get him here, or if you get him here, are you guys going to have the same balls you have with Oz and that you've had with him all along? Or when he gets here, will your balls shrink?
Gosh.
Or will you ask will you ask the same? And by the way, if you want to catch up with me tomorrow night, I'll be over at Pseudo doing karaoke. I'm going to be doing Teddy Pendergrass and Al Green tomorrow night at 9:00 at Pseudo Lounge Bar and Grill.
Back when Doc was here,
9:00 at Pseudo's.
I was trying to be PC and trying to be polite and trying to grow. And then I said, you know what I'm doing? I'm stifling myself.
Come out and have some fun.
I built this pirate
put
radio.
Your money where your mic is. Put your money where your mic is.
I'm telling you.
First of all, if you really want to reach him, there's a number you can call.
I'm just going to have to call him and set up a meeting.
You ought to do that.
Yeah.
That way you don't give a person to say, well, I didn't know anything about it, because they may not be listening.
That's true.
They may not be listening.
Even though I'm pretty
so
sure.
Don't assume And then
allegedly, people
just
from his
saying.
camp are listening today.
Well-
And it's not like him and his daughter aren't on my Facebook page to see everything. So y'all have a great day.
Woo,
We is
I'm
out
tired.
of here.
I'm tired.
Wow.
I'm hungry.
It's time to go haul off some trash, Denise.
I gotta go get my grandson.
Vote for Oz.
All right, man. We're out, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys for
Thank you,
tuning in to
everybody.
Just Fun Radio. We will see y'all later. Enjoy.